Yinzers kicking through the door, loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burb with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Hey, yo, everybody. Welcome back to the show. That's right, everybody. This is, hey, RB, this is episode 950. 950. Silver is what, 25. Gold is 50. What is 950? The golden shower episode, maybe?
That sounds about right.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
Where's
to the
Derpy?
show.
I'll take a piss on him right now.
You know what? He may or may not be here today. So we'll all piss on him if he does get here. Good afternoon to you. We got a show for you today. I hope you're ready for the episode 950. The golden shower episode 950. We got a lot going on. Obviously, we got some news. We got a lot of things, but I do want to start by asking Mr. Mike, how are you today, my friend?
I'm doing well. I'm, pumped, dude. Two days, only two more of these introductions before we have the NFL draft. I'm fired up. You know how Bill Cowher get all fired up and spit will be flying everywhere out of his face. That's how I feel right now.
I like it. Will you spit on Derpy if he comes in?
Yeah.
All right. It's a deal. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Again, like I did say, this is only 2 days to the NFL draft. It is NFL draft eve, if you will. So we're that close where we can even play stupid little games like that. And we'll probably will. So just hang in there, guys. We got a lot for you today. This is episode 950 of the Two Dum Yinzers. We're glad to see everybody today. Yeah. Guys, let me start on just a couple things here real quick. Buccos will be back in action tonight as they travel to Texas to play the Rangers, going against former teammate Andrew McCutchen, of course, who plays for Texas now, looking decent down there for a man of his age. And the Pirates, they get an opportunity to play against them tonight, tomorrow, in the following night in Texas. The Pirates come into the series with a 13-9 record. Braxton Ashcraft will be on the hill for the Buccos. An 8:05 start this evening. And also, Mike, the Buccos, as of right now, have the third best odds to make the playoffs in the National League. And again, you think, okay, it's early. You think, okay, it's whatever. But you know what? No, this is the Pirates. People don't understand how big something like that is. Usually this time of year, they're already starting their decline. They get that first month sometimes, Mike, that can be rather competitive, but after that, it all goes on the decline. And you know what? To be named as a team that people like to be in the playoffs come the fall, it's a good feeling. Again, we love our Pirates. We'd love to see them do well. And again, if they do play well, I think a lot of Pittsburgh will certainly jump back on board and celebrate. They just haven't been given much of a reason to celebrate over the past 3 decades. Buccos tonight, Andrew McCutcheon.
Yeah, and if they keep playing consistent the way they have and stay in contention, the fans are going to be flooding back in. They will be hoisting the cone, raising the Jolly Rancher, doing all that fun stuff that they do in baseball. I'm loving it, man. I like baseball. It's always fun to watch. But in the past 20 some odd years, I really haven't had a reason to watch. Hopefully this team's going to give me reason to keep tuning back in game after game after game.
Yeah, excited. And as I said, with this pitching staff, I think that they're always in the game. And to me, it's the feeling when Ben Roethlisberger was here. You know that you always felt that you had a chance. You were always, you could always be in the game. And with this pitching staff, that's exactly how I feel. They're not perfect by any means. They do have holes that they could fill, and maybe they will by trade deadline. But at the end of the day, you kind of have a feeling that this team could stay in a lot of these games, and it comes down to that starting rotation. Now, the biggest roadblock for the Pirates have been rain, Mike, because Paul Skeens comes in, throws 4, a gem. Then it rains, and then they're not going to put Paul Skeens back in after a 2.5-hour rain delay.
No.
So again, technically, the rain, beat us the other night. Maybe we should have swept that series. If Paul Skeens would have pitched through, would have been a different story. But again, Pirates back at it tonight, looking for their 14th win of the season. Looking good so far. Over across town, if you want to take a skate over there, you could have seen Pat McAfee and a whole bunch of Pittsburgh Steelers over at PPG Arena last night. You might have seen Pat McAfee with his neck brace on from wrestling. He certainly holds that kayfabe. Bobby Heenan would be proud, but that was what happened last night. But that wasn't the only thing that happened. To me, it seems that maybe the Penguins might have partaken a little bit too much early in the day for 420. They forgot that the game started last night at whatever time it started. The Penguins get shut out at home to the Flyers in the playoffs. And are now down 0-2, heading over to Philadelphia. Mike, that series again 0-2 in favor to the Flyers. Penguins lose 3-0 in this game. They'll be back at it tomorrow in Game 3 in Philadelphia. That's a 7:00 start, Mike. I'd just like to hear what you have to say. I mean, again, you couldn't have foreseen this, and nobody could have. I certainly was really optimistic, and I still am optimistic, to be honest with you. But Mike, after these first 2 games of the series, what do you think?
It's not looking good for the Penguins. They have been sluggish. They have not looked the best. They're reacting instead of forcing the play. You can tell they're a team that really wasn't supposed to be in the playoffs. They didn't build around to win for the playoffs. They're still building for the future. They're playing with house money, which is awesome. They totally exceeded expectations. They had like a 0.1% chance to make in the playoffs, and then they made the playoffs. So that tells you like the makeup of this team is not ready yet for prime time, but you're hoping that they pull off a win or two, make this a competitive series at least. Hopefully, like those older vets can rally the troops, and those young guys are going to gain some valuable experience that they're going to be around when they are ready to actually contend again for the Stanley Cup. But right now, this is house money, but it sucks that it is against the Philadelphia Flyers. That's the worst part. The Flyers and Capitals could have been any other team besides those two, and I would be okay. I'm a little annoyed what's going on here just because it's the Flyers.
I guess law of average, at some point they're going to beat us, but again,
I know, right?
As you were saying, though, it's just unfortunate the way things are happening right now. But I'm not. Listen, it is the Flyers at the end of the day, and it is Crosby at the end of the day. So I do feel somewhat optimistic still, Mike. There is a lot of hockey left. Penguins win Game 3. This thing could go anyway. it really can go either way. If you're down 2-1, I think the Penguins could get back in it. You have the best player in the world, arguably over the last 25 years. He's on your team, and you got other guys. So again, Mike, I do still feel somewhat optimistic. We're gonna have to be down 3-0 going into a game, and you just then you have that feel. You just they don't feel it. I don't feel it. Nobody feels it. That's when I'll start feeling it. But Mike, right now down 0-2, still a lot of hockey left to be played.
A lot of hockey left to be played. This isn't the first time this organization's been down. It is hard to come back 0-2. I think they've been down like 14 times. They've come back 5 times, somewhere in that range. So
that doesn't sound like bad odds. I mean,
it's not bad odds.
35%.
Yeah, they got the guys to do it. It's just, can they do it? Can they get to their game? And right now they're not being able to. But you don't want to bet against Crosby. But he is 95 years old.
So the kid is now 95. It's weird to even hear things say, but that is what it is. Penguins back at it tomorrow at Philadelphia. Game 3 of the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. A lot of stuff to get into today. I do want to say one thing here about the draft coming up before we do dive into this whole entire conversation, guys. Heinz Ketchup. I don't know if you guys seen this. Whoever is the number 57th pick is not only going to be excited because they got a pick by a football team in the NFL. Number 57 here in Pittsburgh. The 57th pick will also win ketchup for the rest of their lives. A lifetime supply of Heinz ketchup if you are, in fact, the number 57th pick overall. So, I mean, I'm sure it'll come and go, and I'll forget all about it like everything else in life. But if I can remember, it's going to just be interesting seeing, oh, shit, that's the cat that's going to have ketchup. No questions asked the rest of their life.
I love it. Right now, that pick is owned by the Chicago Bears.
The Bears? All right.
Yeah.
You know what? And they could use ketchup because they don't put it on their hot dogs over there. And maybe that will encourage them to put a little ketchup on their hot dogs.
So not only do you get a lifetime supply of ketchup, you're slotted in for an $8.2 million rookie contract. So not bad. I don't know which is better, the lifetime supply of ketchup or life-changing money.
I would take the ketchup because why not? Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, let's get to it, everybody. I do want to say what's up to everybody on the board today. A lot of people showing up, and I do want to say welcome. Glad to see you. It is 2 days till the NFL draft. Again, 48 hours from now, we'll be kicking off our draft show, the afternoon show that day. And of course, we will run a stream that night as well. It's going to be a lot going on this year. It's going to be a blast. And and let me get these messages through first, because I have another beef I want to get into here in just a second. But let's start on the board. Cody, my man. Cody says this, Mike. Well, let me get one of my boards set here, and I will be ready. Okay, Cody says this. Seen the bungee cord on WWE last night. He looked pretty tough. Cody's saying that RB. the bungee cord made an appearance on Monday Night Raw. Let's get to John. John says $10 bucket of chicken today at KFC. That's right. Just keep in mind, though, it is the legs, the drums, the things like this. It is not the thighs or the breast. But still, $10 is a good deal for a bucket of chicken. So if you want to get that, thank you, John, for the reminder. I thought of it about halfway through the weekend, and that's when I looked it up and found out about the what kind of chicken it was. Let's go right here to the original OG, Yinzer Joe on the terrible board. He says, good seeing you, RB. Oh, yeah, you two other Dum Yinzers too. What's up, Yinzers? What's up, Yinzer Joe? Great seeing you back, brother. You ready for the draft? We got 2 days until that comes around. Cody asks, where's the midget stripper? I don't know. And you know what? She's pissing me off, to be honest with you. I talked to her about a week ago, and she was on her tour. And I know they're really busy. And I know this from last time because she was supposed to come on, and it's busy. They go from city to city. As a matter of fact, she's from Minnesota, and they travel all around the country. Like these, like 30 little midgets. They jam them in the back of a car, and they take off for the road. And as I said, they start in Minnesota and they go here. Next thing you know, they're fucking Dallas, and then they're in Florida, and then they're in Pittsburgh. So there's a lot of I want to get pissed and I want to bitch about it, but I really can't, because again, that's a lot of work for regular sized people. I couldn't imagine being a half a motherfucker traveling the country night by night by car with 30 of my friends and going from city to city. But
that would be like twice the miles.
Exactly. How are you going to spend the same amount of money on the miles for little people that you would on regular people? I don't know. That'll never that will never sink in for me. Or maybe she just listens to some of the content we says and doesn't really like what Mike says and is ignoring me. But this is the fact of the matter. I'm working on her. I promise you. These celebrity types aren't easy, especially the really little ones. The human fleshlight, if you will. We've coined that name for her, the human fleshlight, right here on the show. So keep that in mind. Let's go right here to Cody. He says, "Tell her about me." I sure will. Tell her about me.
Cody wants those digits exchanged.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's probably, and they're probably right now in a car traveling. And they're like, "Oh my God, what did that guy with the beanie say about me?"
Tater scares off the strippers too, Tortilla says.
Yeah.
Goddamn Tater.
Let's go. Let's go right here. Tortilla, my man, all the way from Sacramento, California. Always great seeing Tortilla in the house. He says, tell her about Omar Khan. I'm going to tell everybody about Omar Khan if we had a home run this year. Cody says this, tell Omar Khan to shit in a shoe. Okay. Cody's in rare form, I can tell already. Let's go to Christophus, my man Christophus. I always wonder how you're doing. I don't know what it is. Sometimes there's just connections in life with people. And when I see Christophus's name, I always wonder how Christophus is doing. I can't explain it. I just do. I do want to say welcome to you, my friend. He says, "Hey, fellas, always great seeing you on a terrible board, sir." Joe says, A-Rod is the GOAT. A-Rod is the GOAT. We'll get into a little bit about him today. A lot of stuff going on, actually. We got, of course, RB in the house, Big Mike in the house. Possibly Derpy might pop in today, or he'll be in and out. You know how that little thing is when he's on. And even RB mentioned that the other night on his nerd show. I noticed I stopped in for a while to watch, and RB says, "Bro, why do you always look like you're entering other dimensions on our show, but on this show you look just fine?" And Derpy, and I don't even know if he said anything. You know how he is, but it was certainly brought to the attention.
Anytime Derpy goes live, I gotta jump on and give him shit for a minute, at least like a minute and a half. I jump on and just fucking hammer him.
You have to. It keeps him in line.
And you know the funny thing about that, like I will go and I'll just watch because I know that RB goes on for about the first couple minutes and gives him a bunch of shit. You know, he hangs though. He asks legit questions and things like that. So it isn't a total ball busting.
I do find it funny though that he does the same shit to them nerds that he does to us. He just fucking disappears without a word. He never fucking starts the show, starts talking. There he goes, and then these two guys are, "Where the fuck?"
Exactly like it is here. It's insane, dude. And it's always about that hour point. I've noticed that. I've started picking that up recently. I didn't used to. I thought, okay, it was just a some point during the show. It's usually around 1 hour. I noticed he does that to the guys over there, and he also does that here. So
I think he gets on there and jerks off, and when he finishes, he's like, "Okay, I gotta go." Like the shame kicks in after the pre,
yeah,
or the post nut shame. You just gotta fight. Like, oh.
The thing about him, he's constantly moving and fidgeting, so you don't know what's going on half of that screen half of the time.
I'm just happy now he has a camera, so he has a shirt on. Because for how long was he doing the show shirtless? And how many episodes did he do nude?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to know.
Just throwing it out there.
Let's get back on the board. Tortilla says Mike Tomlin pre-game commentary before a Steeler game is going to be sick. We'll get into that certainly. Also, John says Ryan said across town Yinzers speak. Cody says Penguins are like the Steelers. It's been a long time since either one of them has won a playoff game or round. It's been a really long time. Let's go right here to also Cody. Cody says, "What the fuck is going on, man?" The GOAT is in the house tonight. In this right now, it's not Joey Porter, it's not Tom Brady, it's Tyrone. Tyrone, welcome to the show. The GOAT is in the house. Always great seeing Tyrone on the terrible board. Hope things are going well. 2 days away from the NFL draft. Let's go right here to John. Dude says, "Good afternoon, fellas. Always great seeing Dude on the terrible board. Always great seeing Dude. I hope you are ready as we are 2 days away from the NFL draft." Tortilla says, "I was playing dice and one of the dice landed really, really far away. Landed on Beck Eyes." I like it. Beck Eyes. Christopher says, "Guys, Omar Khan is about to crush this team." Cody says, "I thought Heinz was an Ohio thing." Oh, hence Heinz Field and No, it's a Pittsburgh thing. Teresa Hines Carey, as a matter of fact, the wife of John Kerry, at least she was when he ran for president. That would have been an interesting landing to have some Pittsburgh connections in the White House. Let's go to Just Learning. Just Learning says Rogers has a fake wife. I'm going to need you to remind me of that. I keep forgetting.
Me too. I keep forgetting about Roger's fake wife. That's why I'm glad he is here. He is Johnny.
I'm always glad that Just Learning is here. He is the man. Let's go right here to Gabe. Let's go to Gabe, or Gabe Breyer, maybe. Welcome. I do apologize if I chopped that up. He says, shout out and happy birthday to my twins, Nick R. and Bean R. Love you, boys. We want to wish them a big happy birthday, too. A big Dum Yinzer. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Steeler Freak John says number 69 gets original Wendy's chicken sandwich for a lifetime, too. That's messed up. Also, let's go to Ty. Ty says 2 mother effing days. What's that, Michael?
I said that one stung, didn't it?
It did sting. It did sting. I'm still not over that. I'm really not. And again, it's not stick for dish. I'm really sore. That was my go-to food for 30 years, easy. The spicy chicken sandwich, RB. They changed it entirely. It's a whole different piece of chicken.
Oh,
what's it?
I haven't gone to Wendy's I went through there. The guy in the window was like drooling into the bag.
That's a little extra seasoning, a little extra sauce.
Well, they changed the whole chicken. They changed the bun. They put pickles on it. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Let's do scoot along a little bit here. Tater says, Tortilla says this. He says, Tater even scares strippers off. We know that anytime a vagina walks into the studio, they get scared away by Tater. And you know what? It's getting sickly because nobody loves a good sausage party, believe me. Let's go right here to Christopher. Christopher says we're going to jump ahead of Baltimore and draft Vega and move up in the second round to draft Ted Hurst or Chris Brassell. We'll get into all that so much soon. Aaron Jade, my man, another favorite message of mine, and Mike, every single person, come on. But sometimes when you see something consistently day after day, it grows on you. And of course, Aaron Jade's Here We Go Steelers with the Rockets certainly falls in that category. Great seeing you, Aaron. Hope all is well for you, sir. John says, Ryan, I was too stoned to notice. So KFC is holding the white meat back. Go figure. You could $10 bucket. And you know what, John? I was just basically going in to check it out. I wasn't even thinking about is it white meat? Is it dark meat? It was just when I went into the information. That's when I saw that it was just the whatever they are, drums and whatever. But that is, hey, $10 for a bucket of chicken. $10 for a bucket of chicken. John says this, Jehovah Witnesses chicks won't knock on Tater's door. And I don't blame them.
Yeah. Nor really F them knocking on my doors, but yeah, I wouldn't subject that to anyone.
Let's go here to Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe says Rogers is seeing Diane Rossini and has a side wife at his retreat. Yo, what's up, Somber? Always great seeing Somber in the house. Big dog, ready for the big draft, bro. We got a little over 2 days till the NFL draft, and it's gonna be done for the year. And we're going to have a whole team of players, and we're going to have to try to figure out what we're going to do with them. As, of course, Mike, voluntary veteran camp started this week. So Steelers in the house. Steelers are active. They're participating. Things are looking good. Very optimistic within the crew up there. And also getting ready to add players this week is going to, again, fill the house, Mike, and they're going to have to sort it all out come July and get ready for August. But as I was saying, we are already in the 20s of the month of April, which means May is the only thing that's separating us from summer at this point. And then once you get to summer, for me, that's the home stretch. That's the rounding third for me, in a sense, because you're getting that your June. There's always things to do in June, but then July comes. You have camp. August all month is preseason, and then you're back into the season. So, guys, here we are finishing up April here in about a week. We'll take it. We will take it, Mike.
I'll take it. It's so close. You can taste it. We're just going to make it through the draft and then just be ready to fucking go. I'm ready for Pats to start popping right now.
I am too. Let's go right here to Somber. No, that is not Somber. I'm going to go right to Tortilla. Tortilla says, I cracked myself up. That was a good one, though. It was good. Mark Malone, what's up, brother? Always great seeing the great Mark Malone on the terrible board. As always, he says this, hell now they're saying Beck could sneak into the first. Oh, what are
Who's
they looking?
saying that?
They're looking
What
at
are
it
they
through,
huffing?
through Beck's eyes, I think, is what they're
I
looking
know,
at.
right? I think I think he just mentions Beck because he thinks I'm going to put him up on the big screen, but I'm not.
He likes that. I know. I think Mark Malone really
I'm not
likes
going to
that.
do it. I'm on to Mark Malone.
I think every time he brings up Beck, you got to put a picture of Derpy with no shirt up, and then we'll see how fast that trend continues.
I want to keep retention. I want to keep people here.
We like to eat today. It's Kenneth Jones, always great. My man Kenneth on the terrible board. Kenneth, he says, "Hi guys, always great to see you, brother. We got 2 days, a little over 2 days until the NFL draft is here." Somber says, "There's no way he read that." Let's go right here to Kenneth Jones. Tomlin's got a gig, huh? How much does he make? I'm sure he's going to make a penny. He's taking over Tony Dungy. Tony Dungy's job, who is not only giving him his job, he also gave him his very first job in the NFL. Tony Dungy gives Mike Tomlin his first job in the NFL and hands over his chair to Tomlin at the end of his career. So just an interesting little connection there. Let's do Scoot up here where Tortilla says that was close. Yinzer Joe, Carson Beck is Tater's twin. Tater could be hideous for all we know. We've never seen the guy. You know what I mean?
A little troll-like creature.
Yes, very troll-like. Let's go here to Cranberry Man. Can you rank the Beatles from the most to least favorite? I would say Paul McCartney probably the favorite. John Lennon is a very close second. It could go either way, John or Paul.
Which
George
John
third
Lennon?
and Ringo. What's that?
Which
John?
60s.
Yes,
That's right.
Yeah.
It was McCartney, yes.
Yeah.
But Paul McCartney, I would say, is number one overall. John Lennon, close number two. Very close. It could really go either way depending on who you talk to. George Harrison, 3. Ringo Starr comes in 4. Still, a lot of people make jokes about Ringo. And, of course, Pete Best, I think, would probably put Ringo probably down at 50 or so because Pete should have been the Ringo of this band, and it didn't happen that way. I hope that helps you out, Cranberry Man. Ronald says, "This good day. Also, has Aaron arrived yet? Maybe come draft night, we can deal Roman and Caleb Johnson in the 6th-round pick for San Francisco for Mac Jones." How you doing, Ronald? Great seeing you as always. Cranberry Man, we can. There, Mike does have the link up on the terrible board. It can take you back between either of the streams. One is regular, one is vertical. So if you can't see messages, maybe check the other one. I'm just not sure. Try that out. Steeler Freak John, he says, "I crushed a Wegovy pill and stuck it in Terry Bongshaw and smoked it with my weed to stop my DoorDash fix. I want donuts."
That's a whole new level of addiction right there that I can get behind.
I love it. Always great seeing John. Tortilla says Jehovah needs a witness. Let's go right to Sombre. He says that comment by Gabriel was racist, by the way. If you didn't catch that, those are the types that get brought in by vertical streams. It says vertical streams, Mike.
I'll kill the vertical stream if people hate it. I'll kill it.
No, they don't hate it. Just let's go right here. Mark Malone. He says I read it somewhere. May have been Steeler Post or Steeler Depot. Let me go back to see what it was that you read real quick. Mark Malone, Beck. I gotcha on that. You know what? If it was really recent, like really recent, I might have seen it come across. I just didn't read it. I seen him on my phone at one point as I was scrolling. Tortilla, yes, definitely be careful. He says, John, the Steeler Freak says I read $10 million a year for Tomlin. And finally, Yinzer Joe says, come on, Tater has to look like Beck. Being a Browns fan, right? I would assume everybody's eyes look like that in Cleveland, but hey, that's just me. What do I know? Welcome back, everybody. Again, episode 950, just 50 short shows away from the big 1,000, Mike, and also the 5-year anniversary. It's all unbelievably going to end out coming together at the same exact time. So we're expecting early July. We have a lot of big things coming this year. So again, do stay tuned. Let's get into some Steeler football, if we will, guys. Of course, voluntary veteran camp going on up in Pittsburgh. We have the draft coming here in a couple of days, but there's something that's coming also that might have just changed my whole plans for the week. There's been multiple reports that it's a very good possibility. Now, listen, I don't want anybody to take this in the wrong way because I don't want to go this direction, but I'm bringing this up. They're saying there's a possibility. And it's a good source as well, that the president might be in town for the draft. Now, again, this isn't political driven at all. This is the fact that they're, as we speak, shutting down our roads in our city right now,
Right.
2 days before the draft, and that's not has nothing to do with the president.
Yeah.
They took out 4,000 parking lots to put the stage up. They are shutting down 3 major roadways, and now they're going to add the president coming into town to the mix. I don't know if in the article it said that it could either be Friday or Thursday. They don't have a day even. So that really f's things up. You figure if he comes Thursday, then I could plan on going Friday.
Yep.
I listen for a couple reasons. It's terrible for logistically.
Yeah.
For one, and two, I don't care what goes on politically, but I know that he makes people crazy, and that's all you need is 800,000 people going crazy around one another over something. I don't know. This might be the that might have been the straw that broke the camel's back, Mike. Because again, I was really trying to figure out how this is all going to work to begin with. Duquesne Pilsner wanted us to get on and do a live airing and everything, which I really wanted to do. But at the end of the day, this has really become a nightmare. And if the president comes to town to go to the draft, no less. Listen, if he was coming to town to go to Swickley for something, that's one thing. The fact that he's literally coming right down to where everybody is, this could be something very, very, very effed up.
Yeah, because they're going to have to add, there's going to be added security. They're going to have to clear space out. So people are going to get scrunched back even further to wherever, they're going to have the perimeter around. So, yeah, it's going to be a logistical nightmare. Like I said, roads are already closed. The motorcade coming in is going to force traffic, It's going to be a nightmare. I want to see them come unland, at the Pittsburgh International Airport and try and make their way through with the motorcade through the Fort Pitt Tunnel.
They go ahead, RB.
I think they'd bring that big ass helicopter thing that they take and probably just land it in the field and walk them to the backstage or something.
That would actually be kind of cool, but it just, again, it's what a headache. What a headache. And whoever the hell thought of this idea, and shouldn't he be worrying about a war or something right now? Again, this isn't political at all. Just, again, a disaster, in my opinion, a headache, something that, people from Pittsburgh, as I made the statement like a couple of weeks ago, even I mentioned it yesterday, but it feels a lot like New York, because all those people from New York, you always hear them say, that isn't us downtown. That isn't us down on in Station Square or Times Square. He says that's tourist. We stay out because when people come in, they get in our way, the whole thing. And it kind of really feels like that to me as well with Pittsburgh this week. But again, that is, Mike, again, two really reliable sources, and they usually don't plaster information out like this when the president's coming to town, not usually anyway. And I'm just wondering if those sources are correct. If it is true, the president may be here for the draft on Thursday or Friday. So if
Friday,
it could be either one of them.
Yeah, because we know no one needs to pre-plan for a major major visit like that.
Yeah. So there you go. That's that. I again, Mike, it's just it complicates things, and not just in our little world here. For everybody, you can see how everybody's stressing out a little bit, and then they continue to close more and more roads down. So it's getting a bit of a head scratcher. Let's get into some football talk, and then we will jump back on the board here in just a moment. What do we got? What do we got here today? What do we got? RB. It seems to me, Chop brought it up on the group chat. It seems to me that this is going to be a very trade-ridden first round. At least that's the speculation. At least that's the prediction. We won't know until Thursday night. But there's a lot of talking. It wouldn't even cross my mind if the Pittsburgh Steelers weren't in conversation for trade talks for the opening night of the draft. RB, is this going to be a trade-heavy draft, especially the first round? And if it is, what's driving that this year that's different from every other year?
Everybody I know a couple people that think that it's going to be that. The issue with it is, though, when you always start getting into like the actual value of things, it's probably going to slow a lot of that down, because this is a very odd draft, as in it's very top heavy. Like, you got maybe 12 to 15 players that are like really legit prospects, but then after that you got a group of guys that are so close, it almost is going to eliminate the the value sense. It's going to be hard to put a value on things like wide receiver 6 to wide receiver is so razor thin. Like I wouldn't be surprised if you see a guy you think is going to go middle second fall to like the fourth or fifth, or a guy to fourth and fifth second, because it's just going to go on team preference because the talent wise is very, very close. It's just going to be the preference and what teams are looking guys to do. So that's the whole emphasis on it. Is it's a very deep draft, but there's not a very high end part of it. So a lot of guys are just thinking, if I get what I want, I'm more maybe even looking to get into next year moving up.
And that seems to be a theme. It's not just the Steelers. Of course, it's been our theme here for months as we've been talking. But again, that seems to be the theme that I'm hearing more and more is next year, next year, next year. So we will, I guess, see how that plays out. Mike, of course, a lot of 20 up. We're 21 here in the draft cycle.
Yeah.
I going off everything RB said, everything we've been talking about. What are the chances you think that the Steelers will be a part of all this movement potentially in the first round? Again, it's been talked about, maybe trading with the Browns, trading with the Cowboys, whoever the trading was. Certainly been a lot of talk, but again, draft time, you don't know what's real and what isn't. It's almost like AI and the internet. You just have to kind of sift through it and figure out what you can and go and hope for the best. Do you realistically see the Steelers moving around? And if you do, is there anybody that you look for them to focus in on swapping positions with?
Oh, the swapping positions. Damn. I know we've been linked to the Cowboys at 12. I can see they might not want to move down, but maybe the Giants at 10 because they do pick 5. Harbaugh's probably thinking, hey, I can do a real big swing getting a picks 5 and 10, getting someone. Maybe Miami at 11 because we're gonna have to leapfrog Baltimore, have to leapfrog Tampa Bay if they want to go Vega. They're going to have to leapfrog those teams to get him. They might have to even go into the top 10 to get him if they really want him. Because I have a feeling, like I was telling RB, I think in the group chat yesterday, I'll be surprised if he makes it out of the top 12. Because we were talking before, like a lot of these top 12, top 15 projections, I think they're going to get thrown out the window. I think it's going to be more linemen are going to be picked early than later. Just it's a real good premium position, and it's a good position to actually land on your picks. But I can see the Steelers moving up. Keep an eye on pick 32 because Seattle wants to trade out of that spot, and since we won't be making a quarterback splash, do you guys envision Omar Khan and Weedle trying to make a splash by trading back up to 32 and have 2 first-round picks this year?
Get that wide
that could be an option, right? Yeah, yeah, and get a lineman and a wide receiver in round 1. Maybe have to sacrifice your second pick this year, but if you get your guy, you don't have to wait until pick 53 to get him. So I can see the Steelers moving up into the top 15, top 13. But I can also see them trading down and then trading back up and in. They have a lot of flexibility. Khan said, they will be moving. McCarthy said they want to use a lot of these picks in this draft. The more players, the better. So they're all over the place of what they're putting out there, but they have a lot of options to move up, down, back in. I think they're going to be some fireworks by the Steelers.
And the other part, the other question is, guys, a lot of speculation. And again, I don't know if this is part of the smoke screen. I don't know what it is. You are jockeying for position. It's no different than a football game. There's competition going on. Maybe we don't see it that way as you're watching on television, but you know that it's going on. And a lot of talk recently, RB, was we were just talking about also how many picks ultimately do you think the Steelers will end out with when this is all said and done? Of course, if you start moving picks around, throwing trades and packages, picks and packages, things of this nature. 12 picks is what we're going into the draft with. Some people, myself, I think that the surplus, it could be a little bit of a waste if you would end up using all these picks. RB, what realistically ballpark is the amount of draft picks that you see the Steelers taking in this year's draft at home?
A bit shocked if they did take all 12. I don't think they're
really
going to. I think you're going to fall somewhere in range, but I could see a world where this is all together. A lot of these are from the old staff really going to fit what the new staff is going to look to do. So what's the point of trying to keep a square peg around, fit them in a round hole? Available options.
Right.
So you can hit the 5th or 6th, 7th round there that can contribute at least as a.
Oh, good. Yeah, absolutely. The thing, it's going to be interesting because, again, at the end of the day, guys, this draft, these are the things that you're hearing, and you just wonder how much of that plays into next year and people trying to prepare to get ready for next year. And this is something that I never noticed. And again, this is why I love my draft guys, because these kind of things are something that I never put two and two together. They're talking about how heavy the draft can be this year in the first round with trading picks around, and having guys like RB and Chop in the house. They know this kind of stuff, Mike, and I haven't been paying attention who trades in the first round, who hasn't traded, who's involved in this, who's using all their picks. So again, at the end of the day, I like to tap into our resources because I'm watching the draft to see who the Steelers get in the first round, and and then the next day I'm back at it to see who we get. There's a lot that goes into this, and again, it's a lot. And we do love our draft guys. We really, really do. Let's get into a couple other things here, guys. You know what? Let's jump back on the board briefly. Let's try to get caught up. I don't want to get too far behind as the messages have been coming in, and then we do have a lot of things to get into. I do know that we do have limited time in some certain areas that I am certainly aware of that. So let's grab a couple of these messages, and then we will jump back on topic. Let's go right here to gonna go Somber. Somber says, great. That was regarding the president coming to town. Also, Somber says this. He said, I had George W. Bush come to the Ritz-Carlton when I worked there. It was a logistical nightmare. I couldn't, and this is the freaking draft. Can you just imagine what I just can't even imagine. We'll talk more about it as the week goes and our availability and things like this, but we are still going to have people down the draft. I'm just really questioning my participation at this point, but that's it. Might not change. I don't know. We'll continue to talk. Let's go right here to. I want to get down there, Mike. There's a lot of things that I would like to get down there.
I know you've been looking forward to it for a long time.
I mean, we have people and things we have to do. The president. You had to throw this in there. The president. Let's go right here. Derpy needs suicide watch. He is ready. He's reading way too many different possibilities for the draft. Tortilla says we have the best drafts. We got a lot going on in this one. There's no two ways about that. Ronald says this. Always great seeing Ronald Albright on the board. He says I keep hearing no Vega in round 1, but Creighton Proctor for us at 21, and he might not even last at 21. But Proctor, not Vega, is their target. Any insight on that, RB?
I hope not. Them massive guys never turn out to be anything. You put him out at tackle, he's not agile enough to go out and play a left tackle. You might be able to swing him to the right side and get a year to something out of him. But the kid in Cleveland, Ohio State, he couldn't even make it over to right. Well, you get these slow guys that dominate people off size and college. I'm saying about moving to guard. I just don't see putting a guy at 6'7" at guard, some sort of with this like this smaller defensive tackle being him and just drive him back to the quarterback.
I have a comment here, and that's a really great response to the question. RB and Mike, this is something that I did read this morning. Mike McCarthy shows surprising confidence in the Steelers' supposed weak offensive line. In this article, it says, "quote." It says about him saying that we aren't in dire need of offensive line help. They like what they already have. Is this smokescreen? Is this Mike McCarthy being a little too optimistic about what we have, or is it something else, RB? What do we make of that? Because that could scare a lot of people if they open up their phone and read that headline.
I think it's lip service, because if you get to a position where you're going to have to overpay to get an early offensive lineman, and you're not willing to overpay, or somebody more than you can't turn around and back to that guy. We love you. You're our guy. After you just told everybody, oh yeah, this guy's shit. We need to upgrade now. Like
Right.
you just got to play the game at that.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Another draft question. Now, of course, offensive line is number one need, and they've picked an offensive lineman 3 of the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Now, with wide receiver and a couple other positions, I think some would name, like they're pretty high on the list too. The offensive line is certainly top priority. Now, is there any chance that they do, if there's somebody they like at that 21 or somewhere in their arm's reach, of a wide receiver that they feel that they could get one of these top end guys who could be a legit number 3 on this team, is there any way that they would bypass an offensive lineman in the first round to get that guy? Like a lot of the early speculation was, we're getting wide receiver, we're getting wide receiver, we're getting wide receiver. And then it started dawning on people, oh, geez, we don't have a left side of the offensive line. This has to be the priority. Mike, is there any way that at 21, and that doesn't include trades and things like this nature, this just includes, say we're moving on 21 and you see 2 guys with 3 picks left and you know that both of them aren't going to be picked in front of you, at that point, do you take that high-end wide receiver and bring him in as your legit number 3, or do you go after the bread and butter, what it is that we've been talking about heavily for the last 30 days at least, that offensive line? Which way do you lean on that, and how would the Steelers how would they attack it?
Man, there's also another variable in there, because you're also looking down the board. Like you have, I think, Cleveland picking not too far behind you, that they might need a receiver as well. So if you have a really good receiver and you really like them and you have an offensive lineman, but you have the receiver ranked higher, I'd rather take the receiver one, because you already saying he's the better player, and I don't want him potentially falling down to Cleveland. I still think you can find a really good guard in round 2, and you can probably find a tackle that can maybe switch out to right tackle if you need him to, and if Fatano can switch to left, you do something like that. I would take the receiver if you're not 100% sold that the lineman is better than the receiver, because don't forget, DK Metcalf and Pittman, they're getting older too. They're still serviceable, still good players. But by the time they're coming off the books, that receiver is going to be your number 1 guy as well. That's another, little thing they have to think about as well. I want my offensive lineman, but like I'm saying, like if Jordan Tyson somehow falls there, Cooper Jr. sitting there, I might lean heavily towards one of those 2 if my preferred offensive linemen are not there.
And I am going to say we only have the luxury of having our RB for about another 10 minutes or so. But I do want to put it out there, RB, before you do bounce today, I want to get your number 1 overall, your number 1 first round Steeler pick. Before you go, we're going to collect it from everybody on the staff this week and try to have that all in by Thursday, of course. And knowing that we have you on the spot now, and probably again Thursday and Friday, so we are going to get that off you. So keep that in mind here for the next 10 minutes, and I will get that off you before you go, Mike. And I'm more than likely I'm going to get yours as well today. Finch, Derpy, and Shop we're going to work on and get them over the next couple days. So do think on that, guys. Let's get back on the board for a couple. Again, let's go right about here to Robert. Robert, what's up? Always great seeing Robert. He says since he plays for where did that go? Because I did see a Shador Sanders. Since he plays for the Browns, do they now pronounce Shador Shitter? Let's go right here to Mark Malone. Shit-tor. Let's go to Mark Malone. Always great seeing you, Robert. Mark Malone says it'll be fucking hilarious if he announces our free. Well, you know what? When he's there, I don't care what he does. It's just the whole shutting the town down, because having the president in town, it's a big thing anyway. Now you're adding the everything that comes with the NFL draft. That's the part that's kind of stopping me in my spot. But again, there's time. There's still time. We'll figure things out. Let's go right here to Kenneth. He says rain clouds over Pittsburgh. Yeah, literally and figuratively, I think. Certainly with our Penguins, Mike. They do seem to have a little black cloud flying over PPG Arena. Hopefully it doesn't follow them across state.
I hope not, but it probably will. I have a feeling it's going to be like a 3-1 or 4-0 type series.
And it wouldn't be bad if it wasn't them. Like you said, them or Washington. I much rather wouldn't lose like that to Philly, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Let's stay on the gridiron, though. Let's go right here to Christophus. He said, guys, I can't wait for Omar Khan to strike, especially day 2 of the draft. Pittsburgh is going to be rocking. Wish I was there. You know what? We wish you were here too, Christophus. I'm sure you'll be enjoying some nice weather in South Florida. But yes, it's going to be something, man. And again, if you're in there and you're comfortable with a million people around you, it's probably going to be a blast. And I know a lot of people are going to really love it. And the city is prepared as well, or at least trying to be prepared as much as they can. John, the Steeler Freak, says, I would invite the Pope to bless the draft. Real fireworks. Let's go to Ronald Albright. Ronald says this. Yeah, Donald Trump coming to the draft. It's not like he has anything else to do going on in the world. I know it's only one of the craziest times in the history of our country, but what are you going to do? Let's go right here to Robert. Robert says the Steeler Pope will be there. Steeler Jesus will be there. Steeler Pope will be there. All them guys will be down there. The Troy Polamalu, all those mascots will certainly be there. No two ways about that. Let's go. I do want to say what's up to Tater. Always great seeing Tater, the resident Browns fan from Ireland, in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Let's jump on a couple more draft topics. Just while we do have RB still with us, I don't want to miss out on our RB. Let's go with this question. RB, yesterday we did talk. We didn't get to talk to you yesterday regarding this, but the talk coming into the new week was about Alex Highsmith and possibly Nick Herbig, them taking at least taking phone calls over the weekend of the draft in regards of possibly moving one of those players. What are your thoughts about that just overall?
Watt or Highsmith, one of them had to go because it's just that simple. And as much as most of us know it should be Watt, it's never going to be. He's not going to let that happen. I think Highsmith at this point in his career is a better player. With that kind of money, the re-signings that you have to come up to do, you just can't be paying two at rush. I hear people saying that they're going to think about her because something absolutely ridiculous came through. It's mainly a thing. Highsmith.
Mike, what's your thoughts? I know we did touch on it yesterday, but go ahead and write off that.
Yeah, I agree with RB. That's kind of what I was saying yesterday too. Like, I my preferred edge room starting would be Herbig and Highsmith, but Watt's contract and the owner wanting Watt to be here, the next logical choice, unfortunately, is Highsmith. And I think he'd fetch the most for you out of the top two. Herbig might fetch you the most out of all of them, but I don't want to give him up because I think he's a dynamic player, and I want to see how he's going to be used in this new defensive system.
And also moving forward with the team, like going with the guy with the youth who I think would be the next logical step. But again, I'm not a GM and I don't make those calls. But I do have two more questions for RB before we do get ready to let him go for the day. He's a busy man. We know this. RB, I have two questions. Of course, the last one is going to be about your pick. We're going to take that prediction down. But this one, I do want to get this question in before you do leave today. Mike, you think about it as well because I'm going to swing back around to you. My question for you today, both of you gentlemen, is this, and even on the board, throw your thoughts up as well if you have a take on this. Let me ask you, if there was nothing to consider, no considerations, no money, no anything, who is RB, who is Mike's dream draft pick this year? Who's one player that take everything off the table? It doesn't matter. He could be a corner if you like. Any player. Who is the person that you like the best in this draft over everybody else? And again, if nothing else mattered, you would take this person first, hands down. Does that person exist? And who are they? Take a minute to think that over. Let me grab a couple messages, and then we will kind of wrap RB here in just a moment. But let's go to Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe said, "There's Tater. About time. We missed you. Talking about you. I mean with you." Also, Ty says, "Depends on teams and spots they're jumping." And also says, "I see two trade ups, to be honest." Let me swing back around to RB. RB, who is your 2026 draft overall favorite? Your dream guy that if nothing else mattered, you would grab him like that. Does he exist?
Left tackle for my much studying Milwaga.
Francis Milwaga.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi.
Milwaga. Yeah, he would be my number. I could just say, give me that Milwaga. Yeah,
that's a good pick, Mike. What about yourself?
I like him. There's probably get flamed for this, but I do like Jeremiah Love, the running back. I love watching guys run the ball. Yeah. Like you said in the premise of your question, I just love to watch him play football. I hate that he went to Notre Dame because I hate Notre Dame, but I like him as a player. I think he's fun to watch.
And it's funny, Mike, because you kind of went that direction last year with the Ashton Genty. I mean, obviously,
I love watching him play football too. Yeah.
That's interesting because I do recall that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to swing back around here. It's 27 after the hour. I'm going to swing to RB and ask him one more question before he does leave. RB, I'm just going to record it down. Everybody in the crew is going to give their opinion on who they feel will be the first round pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers this year. Hey, perhaps might be a couple after all the trading's done, but who's going to be that first pick for the Steelers? RB, I'm going to write it down. It's going to be etched in stone. We'll pull it out on Friday. We'll take a look, see how everybody did. Who are you looking at, and who do you think will be our number one pick in the first round for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
After I sat and looked through the draft and kind of played out who I think is going to go there and what paid and who's interested in who, I come to the conclusion that I think it's going to be Mad Max Ian Knocker.
Okay. That names came up.
It just makes too much sense. He's a little bit raw. Being raw, he's still pretty good. He has the flexibility to go guard or tackle on either side of the line because he's got the offensive flexibility, the athletic flexibility to do both. And then that kind of opens you up later in the
I was going to
draft.
say,
Like
yes.
If a Crownover isn't like a Demetrius Crownover is there, you could take him and play in guard. Or if you get down there and it's a Dunker or a Rutledge or the kid from Wyoming, you could take them and then play in Knocker at tackle. And then you wouldn't even have to move Fautanu because the anchor has the profile almost like of Fautanu to where he could fluid it and go in either side. And McClee has talked in the past about he loves flexibility in his offensive lineman because you rarely see an offensive line play 17 games together. So you would have to bump guys around. And we've already done that path. Like, Fautanu was going to be an all-pro guard in the NFL. A lot of Mason McCormick has center capability. There is other, so it would kind of help.
And, and it's funny because RB and Mike, when you're watching your Steelers draft, a lot of times you hear all these names, you go through the offseason like everybody else does, then you kind of get a favorite. And then on draft day, when they draw that first draft, you're like, who? It wouldn't be the first time. And you know what? I just think when you said that name, just by some of the replies on the board, I think that's how it will be here in Pittsburgh. But you know what, RB? You do know your stuff. I do have you etched in stone. Again, we'll pull this out at the end of the week. We'll see how everybody did. But I do want to say thanks for being on today, my friend. It's always great having RB. Everybody, RB, we'll see you in a couple days, my friend. Hope you're ready for the draft, brother.
I'll be on the chat here. I always put the show in on my way to work. And hang her up on there, so I might pop in.
All right, bro. Come on anytime, sir. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, RB. All right, everybody. So let's get back at it. We got a lot of things to get into. Always getting that insight from RB. It goes a long way. Such an addition to the show. We couldn't be happier, to be honest with you. We're going to finish up some draft talk here in a second, Mike. We're going to hit the board. We do have a few other things. We're going to talk Aaron Rodgers. Right? Who doesn't?
What else are we going to talk about?
We made it an hour through the show. And
I know, right? His name. I know.
People
tune in. That's personal best. John, Steeler Freak is waiting for his Aaron Rodgers update.
That's all right. It's Aaron Rodgers watch this week, and we're certainly keeping an eye on it, as is everybody else. But let's get in a couple more of these topics here, Mike. We did get the dream pick topic in. Do you want to do your pick now for your first round pick, or do you want to wait more to the end of the show? It's up to you. I mean, because you were just thinking about it. It might be fresh in your mind.
We can do it now. We can do it now because, he's one of the names that I was thinking too. If there's a run on tight end, a run on lineman, he might be the one left, one of the guys left. Me, I have a feeling they're gonna end up with Omar Cooper Jr. Omar Cooper Jr.
All right.
I know, we didn't meet with him. There's a connection there with the Signettis on the staff. One of the other coaches from Indiana on the staff. We do need a viable number 3. He can play inside. He can play outside. He's on the shorter end of McCarthy picks for wide receivers, but still 6 foot, solid build. He's in that mold. I think Cooper might be the guy. If he's sitting there, I think it's going to be Omar Cooper Jr. because I have a feeling all the good linemen are going to be gone.
All right, so there you go, guys. We have a third of the staff has picked our first round picks, guys. So Mike, Cooper got you in, so now we'll continue to get Derpy. I think he'll be back in tomorrow. We'll get Derpy, we'll get Finch, Chop, myself. So guys, we do have 2 names in stone. I think we'll get to the board here shortly, where the board also has their thoughts as well. So get to that in just a moment. Mike McCarthy, is confident assessment of the offensive line, the current state of the offensive line. Again, I don't know if I'm shocked. I don't know if I'm hurt. I don't know if I'm surprised. I don't know what to think after these latest comments. I would think that if you're looking at our team as a whole, you would it would just be glaring, like a shine from somebody's bald head on how much of a problem that left-hand side of the line is, and it has a potential to be as this team looks to turn the corner and get back to improving and playing, winning in January.
Yeah, the line needs addressed, and like RB was saying, I agree too. I think this is just lip service. You're not going to talk shit on the guys. You're going to say, "Oh man, these guys fucking suck." You're going to say you're comfortable, and in NFL speak, coach speak, comfortable. That's as bad as they're going to describe something. If they're a veteran coach, that to me, if like, hey, we're comfortable with what we have, yeah, that means we're going to add to it, and we might not add to it in the first round, but that second round, third round, fourth round, don't be surprised to see offensive linemen come off the board specifically to address that side. Because I'm sorry, Spencer Anderson, Brock Hoffman, that does not scream excitement. It does not scream stability at the guard position. Dylan Cook, although he had a wonderful 8 games there, that does not scream confidence at left tackle. And there's a depth issue too on the right side. If something would happen to Fatanu or something would happen to Cook and Fatanu has to flip over, who's that other tackle? So they're going to be drafting offensive linemen. This is an Andy Weedle philosophy. It's something that Omar Khan has adopted as well, of drafting offensive linemen. And it's something that we should be doing anyway. It's one of the most underlooked but most important positions on the team. Without a good O-line, you see what happens. Your quarterback can't do shit. Your running backs can't do shit. So, yeah, they have to address it. And, it doesn't surprise me. He did come out and say, oh, my God, this is worrisome. We got to look to get moves, get guys in. This gamesmanship in that quote.
Let's jump on the board, Mike, again. We're going to talk some Tomlin. We're going to talk some Rodgers. That's all coming right up. Let's get through some of these comments regarding the draft as we start to work at that, Mike. Let's see right here. John says that it's possible Rodgers doesn't plan to return and is helping the Steelers disguise their. I thought of this too. Disguise their draft plans, but not announcing his intention until after this week. I certainly did think of that as well. Tater, he says, has Grandpa called Grandma Rooney yet? You know what? It's tough because with all those quarterbacks, you think that team up in Cleveland might have made the playoffs, but last place
with a Pro Bowl quarterback.
A Pro Bowl quarterback.
You would think you made the playoffs.
With the way he performed, and he made the Pro Bowl, and Aaron Rodgers, who actually performed good for not having receivers or an offensive line or an offensive coordinator. He didn't. It just kind of goes to show you that sometimes you have to throw the dog a bone, and that's what it was. Cleveland never really amounts to anything. Tyrone says, I think he will make. I think it will be 12 picks, and it's just, again, that's a lot of picks. And if you start moving players and packing up picks for packages, you just never know. But it's possible. It is possible. To me, it seems a little much. To me, it seems like you're getting guys at the end of the day that you just know aren't going to be here. Why not use those picks to benefit you somehow down the road? Yinzer Joey says, I feel like the top 15 players in the draft are relatively worth first-round picks. Others in the first round should just trade their first-round picks for leverage or maybe a veteran player. Tyrone, he says, has massage therapist names quarterback? One yet. Let's go here to Tortilla. Tortilla says that Derpy and the president in the same place sounds like a South Park episode.
There'd be like a body swap thing. Next thing you know, Derpy would be out on there giving speeches, phasing in and out.
Yeah.
Trump be sitting here talking about our draft picks.
This is yeah. With Derpy with his eyes, green screen. This is the greatest green screen ever. There's never been a greater green screen. Green screen.
Flashing titties at the UN.
Yeah. Cody says Mike just puts Penn State out there. Let's go here to Tater. He says, use them all. I use all 12. By God, you need them. Just like we needed them last year. We got to the playoffs. Let's go right here to Ty says this. He says Omar loves Lemon. That's who he's targeting. Then Vega is his second. And here's the thing. I'll ask you that, Mike. I asked the question early, basically in a different way. Let's say Lemon is available when. Let's say Lemon and Vega are sitting there at pick 20, and you got a choice at 21. Which way does Con and company lean? Do they get the guy they love at wide receiver, or do they get that necessary piece? Do you get the higher class wide receiver and go with a lower class lineman a little bit later, or do you go with the higher potential lineman and go with the receiver who's a little lower later? How do you what does logic tell you? What is common sense? The thing is, I don't know.
I don't know either, because I really love both players.
I do too. I would think my heart tells me you would go with the lineman in this situation, but again,
I would not just because he went to Penn State. Just offensive linemen in the first round have one of the highest. I think they're the second highest success rate in the draft, and we definitely need that. But we also need another receiver as well. But I think,
and Mike, with the potential with Lemon, as you mentioned, these receivers we have aren't young. So you get a guy with his potential and his talent. He's going to be a big part of this. Yeah. And if you could get that kind of talent, Mike, to be the next wave of your receivers, you're really starting to build this team back the way that you should. Guys behind guys, young guys coming up, stepping up. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. Because if you go, let's say you go Vega, because Lemon's there. Okay, at 53, you can go wide receiver right there. You might, maybe overdraft a little on a guy, someone like a Ted Hurst, who I think has George Pickens qualities, but not George Pickens mental acuity.
right.
He's a lot more mature than George Pickens. So if you get someone like him, or if you go Makai Lemon round one, okay, then you maybe Pregnon's there, Bisnatis, Dunker, those guys are there. So you're going to have a little bit of a quality drop at both positions, but you're going to get a really good player in the second round, and you're also going to get a really good player in the first round. So it's like, which one? It's not who you value more, but what do you think the team needs more and is more team success? And it's kind of looking like, their philosophy, let's finish out the trenches and we can get a receiver in the second round or in the third round. That might be how they do it, but I wouldn't be if those two are there, whoever they read off the card, I'm gonna fucking love either one.
I know.
Yeah. So it's like, that's
a good day. It's not going to be either one of them. It's going to be someone.
Yeah, I know. I have a feeling both those guys are going to be gone by this point.
Probably going to be RB's guy. I don't know. There's just something about this that.
It's just.
It screams RB's guy to me.
The way I'm looking at stuff and you're hearing stuff now that it's getting close to the draft and teams are kind of people are getting a little bit loose lips, or they're letting their guard down because they're kept being asked the same question. You can start envisioning how this top end of the draft is going to go. You also have to figure, like, Vega being the highest rated interior lineman and not go until picks 18, 19, 20. That doesn't sound right. Usually those guys can go a whole awful lot higher, and there's teams out there that might do it to solidify their offensive line instead of going over a flashy position.
All right. Now, good take. Let's get back on the board as there's a lot of things going on. Let's go right here to Cody. I'm going to go to Cody. Or Lemon. Yeah, I think we did get that one. He's targeting Vegas as second. Cody says this RB studio is in rock bottom. Is in rock bottom. What's rock bottom? Is that bikini bottom? Maybe.
Only thing I know about rock bottom is the people's elbow.
Yeah, the finishing move for the Rock.
Yeah.
Let's go right here. End of days. What's up, End of days? Always great seeing you. He said the Steelers should draft a quarterback first round. Rodgers is not wanted. Let's go here to Ronald. Ronald says, somebody go buy one of those toys, Mr. Microphone, and send it to the Yinzers. And we were having a little cutoff. Again, RB is in the middle of the state, basically, so we do apologize for that connection. I think that's what's happening. I think.
That's what's happening. And like there's people working around the area here too, and the internet has been slow today.
Let's go right here to Yinzer Joe. Yinzer shows us some confidence that Rodgers will be signed and practicing by training camp. People trying to rush him back when there's no need for it is crazy. The organization knows more than they're saying. And you know what? I don't agree. I mean, I don't disagree with you at all on the last part that you said. They could certainly they could have the answer. They could know exactly what's going on. So again, for us, we will have to wait it out. But at the end of the day, I think I've seen somewhere where that's going to come back to in another question. We'll get to it when we do. Let's go to Tortilla. Trump just wants to get a good look at how the draft works before World War III. That's actually Tortilla's been on fire today with the draft. I like it. I like it. Proctor's trash. Ty says they will draft the left guard. So now getting to some of these predictions here. Let's go to Tainter. Tater says this. Tate's coming to the Browns. Let's go to Somber. As long as they get one of the top 4 or 5 guards, I'm fine. Doesn't have to be in the first. That's at the end of the day. I just want something to work. I need somebody to block. I need somebody to watch my quarterback's ass, his backside, and somebody to be able to control the line on run in the middle. You're right. It doesn't have to be the first. Doesn't have to be the greatest guy. We just need somebody to get the job done. Again, look who our right guard is, Mike. That should have never happened in theory. He got thrown into the fire, into the wolves, and he managed and did very well.
Yeah.
So again, it's tough.
It is tough. It is tough. Man, but if you can get a blue chipper and put him right there, and you think you have someone who has the ability to be like the next Alan Faneca. Oof,
Mike, what if we build this line? What if we build this line with a bunch of misfits like McCollum, like who is the McCollum and McCormick and Dylan Cook and all these misfits, and then have Zach Frazier right there
and Fatano.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
I would take it as long as the long as they fucking work. I would give a fuck, but I don't know. I just want me some. I want me some Vega.
Let's go right here to Mark Malone. I take a wide receiver, Dunker, in the second. We do know that
He wants him. I mean,
how could you not?
Just on, as the kids say, on aura alone, you want Dunker.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at that mane.
See, that's what that's the haircut I imagine Tater has.
He looks like he would fit in with Frazier and McCormick. Like that would be a nasty little trio in the middle of the line.
I do know Mike McCarthy was asked how the offensive line, how they feel, Mike, or how he assessed them. He says they feel really confident on the line. Like they're saying, he said that it's a very confident group as well. So again, it's all gonna revolve around Zach Frazier at the end of the day, and the Fatano is going to be in there, and the rest of the way we're going to have to put it together. Of course, Broderick Jones was piece of one in this whole process, Mike, and we're seeing how that played out. But I do want to say this. Colin seemingly refutes the report that Broderick Jones suffered a setback. Mike, he said in regards to this comment, he says, nothing's changed.
Yeah, who's lying?
I'm sure it's somebody in Pittsburgh media, if you ask me. But
probably, or is Colin trying to protect his guy? You never know. But I still say we draft a tackle at some point in this draft, and just because his injury, 2, you don't know, like if he can't come back, is he going to improve? We don't know how good Dylan Cook really is. So if you can get a tackle who can play, who has the flexibility, and McCarthy said that today at his press conference, I just saw on Twitter, like positional flexibility is important. Talking about receivers, linemen, and corners. So get a guy who has the ability to play left side, right side tackle to be a swing tackle, but also has the potential to be a starter. If you can find one of those in the 3rd round, you run to the podium and get them, okay? Because we need offensive line depth.
We sure do. The draft, guys, it is so close. It's so close you could see it. Literally, guys, they are now they're testing the video, they're testing the lighting, they're testing the sounds, the music, all that stuff. I'm sure many people have seen the pictures down there. It's a massive stage, guys. Just 2 days away. Everything is getting fine-tuned now. So NFL draft right around the corner. Let's get on the board, Mike, and then we're going to come back into some Mike, a little new, the Mike Tomlin scoop, of course, that we all have learned this morning, and also some Aaron Rodgers talk as we are. It's at that point of the year, Mike. So everything is draft, and also I'm glad it is because it was Aaron until the draft started getting really close. So let's see what everybody else has to say, Mike. Everybody's fired up about the NFL draft, whether you're here, whether you're not, whether you're coming, whether you don't. At the end of the day, it's the big story. It's huge. A lot of people will be tuning in on Thursday night for sure to see who their favorite NFL team drafts in the first round of the NFL draft for sure. Let's go right about here. Tyrone says this: I feel so bad about Tate if that happens. He's praying the Giants do, of course, referring back to Tater talking about Tate going to the Browns. So everybody ultimately wants to get out of Ohio at the end of the day. Mike, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Imagine playing for Ohio State and then getting drafted to the Browns. I don't know. To me, it just seems disgusting.
I'd shoot myself.
Yeah. Somber says that ends with Bo Stevens for me. After that, no thanks. Tyrone says Dunker, not good, Mark. But Mark has been consistent though. He's certainly been consistent with his love of Dunker. Tater says Browns draft Tate or Sonny. He wants to keep the Ohio misery going. I guess he does. Let's go right here. Mark Malone. He's badass. Tyrone says Vega Bernard or Cooper Jr. or Rutledge. Again, getting to our first round picks here on the board. Yinzer Joe says Cleveland has the 6th and the 24th pick. Who's to say they won't get a wide receiver, then the offensive lineman afterward? You're right. That's very possible. I mean, it's going to be interesting because, again, these are teams that we're playing twice a year. So usually we laugh at what Cleveland does, but now you see when they're picking offensive linemen, defensive linemen, you're thinking to yourself, like, maybe they're actually finally getting it because the defense was good last year. They drafted well. They're building. When they're not just doing Cleveland things, they look like they could resemble a real football team. And, I kind of want them to go back to drafting all these quarterbacks. That was working.
Me too. I want them to keep drafting stupidly. But they're the Browns. It's the truth. The Browns will Browns. They will always find a way to fuck it up. And, their coach, it might seem like an innocent thing. The coaches meeting take all the photos of the coaches. He was out busy getting a haircut. He couldn't properly plan his time to get a haircut and make it in time for the photo. And that does not bode well for him actually planning anything out accordingly for his team. I'm going to question his decision-making process. Like when he's out there in crunch time.
Mike, so what you're telling me is
that's a buffoon.
You are judging somebody on their ability to get their haircut.
I get my haircut in a timely manner. I'm not going to miss a meeting about my haircut.
All right.
You just shaved your head, coach.
Point taken.
The guy's he comes across as a moron. Like his introductory press conference, that shit right there. I'm not like, if I'm a member of the Browns, this guy does not exactly scream confidence builder.
And especially after you kind of wanted the defensive coordinator to be promoted last year as a Browns fan, and he ended up leaving in an anger and with a fist of rage, I think is the way that ended up playing at the end of the day. So always fun watching that circus up there. Let's move on the board. Let's go right here to you know what? When I read that, just read it. I'm not even going to make a sound, nothing. Just look at Somber's message, and I promise you will hear the sound. Take a look at it. It says draft chime. The pick is in. Everybody can hear it. Everybody literally heard it. Like, well, because Mike actually did it after I said don't.
No, I did the wrong chime.
And then the part where you were supposed to do it in your head was that.
I'm sorry.
Anyway.
I know.
But you can't say that you didn't hear it in your head though when you read that.
Oh, I heard
it. Ty says I heard a lot of trans called Highsmith most likely getting dealed.
I'm gonna go
with teams, perhaps.
Yeah, I'm thinking teams.
And that's where Cody goes, what? Of course, Cody caught it. Let's go to right here where
one break out of my warehouse.
Let's go. Ty says, we just got that one there. Let's go right here. Sorry about that. Yeah, there it is. He fixed. I heard a lot of Tim. Gotcha. Cody says it's like when the coach on Waterboy is talking the players look so confused. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. Herbig is due for a new contract. It's easier to trade him than trying to make him an edge setter and pay him. That's interesting. Yinzer Joe. It's an interesting take. Let's go here to Tortilla. Tortilla says that's what Aaron Rodgers heard when Aaron Smith was calling a play. That's what Aaron Rodgers heard when Arthur Smith was calling a play. Sorry, Arthur Smith. Tyrone says this. He says, "My bad. I'm taking my dog out hard to see laughing my ass off the type." I will go with the way that I took that, and we'll just
we're gonna go out.
You're kind of tied up right now, I think, is what you said. Let's go with that. Let's go right here to Tater. He says, Gerard McCoy be my dream draft for the Browns. Hey, man, that's awesome. We appreciate the take there as well. Let's go to Ty. Ty says Vega for sure. That's who his guy is. Somber, anyone, give me style. Send PQ to another realm. Let's go to Somber. Somber says also he follows it up by saying, "Oh, you want a realistic pick?" Cody says, "Who did RB say?" And that was, of course, the pronunciation. And again, Mike, it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up being the pick. That's just again the way the Pittsburgh Steelers draft. Sometimes it's never the guy that you think it's going to be. It usually isn't.
Yeah, like Derek Harbin, like we didn't talk about him a whole lot last year. We talked about D lineman, like, looking at it for like D tackle, but not like end. And we had the position right, but we had the player wrong. And that could be like an anchor this year. We got the position right, offensive lineman, but not the right guy.
Brandon, I do want to say welcome to the terrible board. Brandon says this. Mikey says, "I hope Rodgers doesn't come back, dude. Is a loser." And you know what? I'm kind of on the same road. Listen, I was on board with the Rodgers idea just because, again, it's easy, it's convenient, and you don't have to put yourself behind the 8 ball to handle a situation if you bring him back. He's familiar with the head coach, very familiar with the coach, familiar with the locker room. And again, he was in the system last year. And even though it won't be the same system, it is the same organization. So I was okay. If that had been the case, I was okay. Come back, throw another 25 to 30 touchdowns maybe this year with more targets in the different offense. But at the end of the day, as they mentioned yesterday, Will Howard's taking his reps, his first team reps. I'm okay with that too. As long as we know, Mike, that the ultimate goal is probably going to be one of these higher end quarterbacks next year, some way, somehow, I'm okay ultimately with whatever way this goes. You're getting two different situations with both of these different quarterbacks, and I'm okay with both of those situations. I think that we have to get a look at Will Howard, especially if we're going to be getting something next year in the draft. And again, I could also see the experience and the know-how and the things that Aaron has between the ears could playing to an advantage, Mike, and we could use that as an advantage to the team as we build a stronger team, maybe make a deeper run, win a couple extra games in the regular season, win that playoff game that's been ever so elusive at this point. But it's almost I'm right there with you at this point, because if he doesn't, Mike, I'm okay with that now. I thought, well, if he doesn't come back, it's going to be a rough year, but that's fine. If it is a rough year, then guess what? We take advantage of that in the draft next year. So it is what it is right now. Whatever it is, if they know that it is that, we're certainly paying attention to talk about it. But for me personally, it could really go either way at this point, and I'll be fine.
Me too. Say if he comes back, awesome. Yeah, it gives us a better chance to win. We got better talent this year around him. Hopefully the O-line will be improved. But if not, like we've been saying for months now, cool. We get to find out what Will Howard has and if he's the guy or not. And if we continue to build this team around the quarterback position for whoever it's going to be, we continue to make the roster quarterback proof. And that's been their philosophy since Colin Weedle was hired. Make this roster quarterback proof by doing that, by building inside out on offense, inside out on defense. And that's what we're doing. We're keeping a solid defense and building up a solid offense to where you plug just about any competent player back there, and they're going to give you a really good chance of winning. And someone like Will Howard, who has that quote unquote clutch gene, he has that it factor, he has that I don't give a fuck attitude, might be the guy for it. But if Rodgers doesn't come back, we will get a good look at him to see if he is the guy. If not, like you said, next year Hopefully, a lot of these quarterbacks come out and we can snag one.
And it's not a damned if you do, damned if you don't. You could literally take advantage of either situation,
Yeah,
and it could play to your advantage. So again, that's where I'm at. I do want to say thank you, Brandon. That was a good comment. I think we needed that.
Yeah.
Let's scoot up to Somber. Somber says he would say Boston, of course, going back to our first round picks.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sorry about that. Somber says I'll take Boston. Also, Ty says Somber, don't start up with me. Tyrone says to Somber. Ty says this. I'll say trade you for Lemon. Let's go right here. Tortilla says he said Ty Simpson. Let's go. Oh, there it is. There is Arby's pick. I say it for me, Mike. Ironhawker. Is that how do you say that guy's name?
Ironhawker.
There you go.
I like knockers.
Even better. Let's go right here to Cody. Cody says, I see Mike get happy. I thought he said Drew Howler.
You know what list you're on, Cody.
Let's go to John.
I really got to get a board behind me. It says the enemies list. It's just Cody.
Yeah, you do. Like one of them dry erase boards or something. Have his name listed.
Cody,
top
hair
10.
Follicles. That's it. That's the list.
Let's go to John, the Steeler freak. Broderick Jones is not fully past the medical clearance and has experienced a reported setback in his recovery. And that's what I was referring to, John. This was what Omar Khan seemingly refutes the report. Broderick Jones suffered a setback. When asked about it, he said nothing's changed. So still learning about that as well. That was kind of news to me this morning. Let's go right here. Johnny thanks RB, of course. We love RB. Mark Malone, me too, Mike. Also, Tortilla says Aaron Rodgers is married to Drew Aller. Go here. Somber says the report of a setback was debunked yesterday. If anything, he plateaued. There's no decline. Interesting. I did not. I was wondering what the hell happened because this morning I woke up and the Omar Khan refuted it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, interesting, because that was certainly widely spoken about. It wasn't.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't one source, or you know what I mean. Tortilla, okay, I've got it. Rooney invited Trump to the draft to try and get Rodgers to also come to the draft and announce he is signing. We're pulling out all the stops now. Next it'll be just land AI Atlas right inside the stadium, and we'll see if we can get the aliens to talk Aaron into coming back. Who knows? Let's go here to Tortilla. Tortilla says, I'm sorry, we just got Tortilla. Steeler freak John, he says, short of center, best player available is who he would choose. Or believes the Steelers will. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. He says, I think if Roman Wilson is on the team, they'll wait till the second to get a wide receiver. The first round will be a lineman, I think. I'm guessing Rutledge. And you know what? That's an interesting take, Joe, about Roman Wilson. Because I thought that at some point he would have already been involved at a capacity, but just the way he's been treated. But again, different coaching staff, different outcome. Maybe we'll see if it's not any different. Mike, who knows what the hell's going on?
You want Makai Lemon? We got Makai Lemon at home, and his name is Roman Wilson.
Yeah,
that's what Omar Khan's going to tell us.
Yeah, exactly. End of days, yes, draft in 2 days, baby. You can't even describe the excitement, everybody. 48 hours. We'll be doing the draft day show. Again, stream that night live for round one, baby. A lot going on. Always great to see end of days on the terrible board. As always, Tyrone said Yinzer Joe will definitely be a lineman or a wide receiver. First two picks, Rutledge, not first round. Let's go to Somber. Somber says, I wouldn't be surprised if Rutledge went before Bisnonis. Say that name for me, Mike. Bisontis. Is that right?
Yep. That's my pronunciation. I'm afraid to say it because I know Somber's going to jump all over me and correct me.
Well, here's the thing.
I need because I care about these names.
You need corrected, but I'm stupid. And again, I always have to sound it out before I say it.
I know.
So I play it off. I go, hey, Mike, why don't you say it? And then I practice it.
I'm sitting there stumbling over it,
yeah,
stuttering over words and shit. You make me look like the asshole.
That's the play.
Well, I mean, that's easy to do.
Let's go right here to Sommer says, I wouldn't be surprised if Rutledge went before him. And then he says, maybe even Pregnon. Mark Malone, he says, this Mike, the wide receiver, is the biggest impact player. And he's not wrong. but the left tackle is one of the most important positions on the
Mhm.
field. You know what I mean? So you're not wrong. It's just it's all part of it. Let's go here to Cody, my man, as always.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir, as always. Cody Super Chat says this. He says it's because he went to Penn State.
Don't worry, I'll get the intern working on erasing your name from the enemy's board. Whenever we finally hire an intern.
We are absolutely heading into this football season for sure. Let's go right here to Cody. Cody says Mike smoke screening like a mofo. He says, John Steeler Freak says this: who the quarterback will be determines how important another wide receiver in the draft this year will be. I think very good. Yeah, absolutely. Ronald says, people, if we trade up to take a wide receiver, then sometime next season at the trade deadline, DK will be traded. And you know what?
Could be a possibility, or at the end of the season.
Yeah. Depending on what's going on with the squad, too, you know, the team. Let's go here to let's go to Somber. Somber says, I've been extremely impressed with the group Coach McCarthy on. That's what I'm getting as well. Extremely. I did actually mention that earlier in the show, the extremely impressed. So again, extremely impressed, Mike, is the term that McCarthy is using, talking about the offensive line. That's not I'm happy. That's not I'm you know what, we have the right guys. That's not we're gonna make this work. Mike, that's saying I'm extremely impressed.
Is he looking at center and right tackle only? He got them Carson Beck guys going, evaluating that offensive line.
I just know, Mike, that you know, when you say offensive line, there's 5 guys that you're talking about. No one specified center, no one specified right tackle, but I certainly have the same exact verbatim in my notes.
I know,
Mike. Extremely impressed. We'll leave it there. Let's go to my man. Let's say what's up to Jamal. Always great seeing Jamal in the house. Gang, fam, gang, my friend. Hope you're ready for the draft, sir. Just 2 days from the NFL draft. Yinzer Joseph, protecting whoever the quarterback will be is the most important thing right now. Getting linemen to bolster the protecting, running, and passing game is the only way to go. Very sensible thinking. Tyrone says, I don't care how impressed, we need a left side of the line. Yeah, you're not wrong.
I've been impressed with watching these guys run around in t-shirts and shorts.
I liked a couple years back. Remember, was it when we started the offensive line project? Mike, remember when we had a couple guys that were blocking each other in preseason?
You know who that was? That was Fatanu and James Daniels.
It was James. Yes,
it was those two, and
they literally were blocking each other. Remember, it was a preseason game, and you see the play go, and you're like, "Wait, he's blocking his own guy."
Yeah, we had like a double pull there. Both guards ran right into each other. It was a thing of beauty. And it turned out to be our 2 best offensive linemen, which made it even better.
It was certainly a topic of conversation here on the show. Let's see how impressed. I don't care how impressed we are. We did get that. Let's go. Cody, rock bottom is where those fish in Bikini Bottom take poop. This poop. I don't know what the hell is he trying to say. It's been a while since my SpongeBob days, but I do. I don't know. You never know, Cody. You never know.
I'm like too sober to deal with Cody's nonsense right now.
Somber says this. He says, guys, Mike McCarthy on the makeup of his offensive line. I believe in having. I'm going to start again because I read that wrong. Mike McCarthy on the makeup of his quarterback room. I believe in having 3. Potentially, we'd like to have 4 if we can, one on the practice squad. Tortilla, I thought Cleveland was rock bottom. It smells. I know that. That helps. It certainly smells. Let's go right here to Somber. Somber says this, Mike. He says, Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy says the Steelers D-line is the biggest D-line I've ever coached. He says Keanu Benton and Y.A. Black have position flex ads. They can play from 1 tech out to the 5 technique. It's again.
I don't like Benton on the inside, but as nose, wasn't he? Yeah. Well, he won a typical D tackle spot. Yeah, he can do that. I like him in a 4-man front. I love Benton on the inside with that quickness. And I want to see Y.A. Black take a big step forward this year.
And another thing, I just kind of going off of some of the things we talked about today. What interpreting, translating what it is that's being said by McCarthy. Of course, a couple of comments, a couple quotes today we talked about. That's the one thing that we have to learn Mike McCarthy in a sense. I mean, I learned Bill Cowher so well because I was a young man who paid attention to nothing but my Steelers. All of his mannerisms, the way he handles things, the way he answers, what he means when he's saying things. And then Tomlin for 20 years, same thing. You pick up his isms, if you will, and you really get used to understanding what it is that he's trying to say when he's trying to say it. And Mike, I think for McCarthy, we're not there. We don't know. We don't know how to take him yet. And as far as trying to figure out all these statements he's making, if you knew him a little better as the coach, if he'd coached for us longer, perhaps we would be able to read between those lines. But right now, again, this is the first year for us, as it is the first year for him being here as the Pittsburgh head coach. So we're trying to learn him just as much as he's trying to learn as well. So I'm looking forward to it, Mike. Again, learning coaches, Cowher and Tomlin in my lifetime. I was a little kid into my early teens with Noel, but I didn't have the thought process at the time to think that. So again, I'm interested to learn more about our head coach, Mike, and just again trying to understand what he's saying when he's saying it.
Exactly, because you knew, like you said, you knew the bullshit that Tomlin and Cowher would say to when they're trying to hide their true intentions. McCarthy, we still have to learn his playbook.
Absolutely. Let's do scoot up here to John, the Steeler Freak. He says this, Mike. He says, Mr. Microphone, hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later. Let's go to Ty. Ty says that's good. Get us true nose tackle. It's been a while. Somber says Mike McCarthy scheduled 5 OTA sessions, then 3 days of minicamp, followed by 4 more OTAs. He says it's designed that way because he believes most install can be done in 8 sessions. Progress. Again, I'm open for anything. Again, I want to win. I'm not even in conversations because, again, you just know people are weird sometimes. So I'm never even going to touch comparisons. I mean, I will, but Mike, I want to learn. I want to see what's going on. I'm open to anything, whatever the new coaching staff says. Let's look at it. I'm open. Again, I want to win in January. That's the bottom line for me, Mike. I want to see them games in February. I don't care if coach 1, 2, 3, or 4 is coaching this team right now. Whoever can come in and get us some wins in January. Again, I have respect for the first 3 guys, amazing respect. So let's see what the new guy has. And again, I'm excited to learn, see what he does, see what wrinkles he puts in, and see how it affects his team in a positive way. And it's I think a lot of people are excited about that as well.
Yeah, it's gonna, it's a whole new process, whole new philosophy of not just game plans, but of how to run practices. Like how to do OTAs, how to install the offenses and defenses. So it's going to be new, something different for the guys too. And like we've been saying all week, all the reports are everyone is excited. So the offseason's looking pretty good for the Steelers, man. Things are pointing upwards. There's a lot of noise from outside the organization that, oh my God, this team is in disarray. They have no idea what's going on. But you actually listen to the people running the show, we're fine with, hey, we're going to let Aaron do what he wants to do. Well, I got Will Howard and Mason Rudolph here. I got guys doing their thing, and hey, we're going along. We're right on schedule where we want to be. So, for a team and a franchise that is in disarray, it doesn't look like it.
That's what I'm saying, Mike. They handled the coaching switch pretty easy. Yes, they handled free agency pretty easy. The draft is looking good. Again, if you could hit this trifecta, Mike, and have a successful transfer of power with the coaching staff, with free agency, and with the draft, again, that's as much as you could ask for. You really couldn't have asked for much more this offseason or expected much more. And Mike, this is an offseason that we did make notes saying they do have to go out and hit a home run this offseason to make a difference. And so far, I like the swing on the ball, and I would call what we've done so far a home run. Again, you finish this trifecta, you finish this third wheel. I'm going to be feeling really good heading into summertime about our Steelers.
Yeah, me too, man. It's training camp's going to be a fun one.
It sure is.
I can't wait.
Send Derpy up there again this year.
He needs to high five someone. He high five Will Howard.
Let's go to let's go right. Where are we going to go? I don't know where we're going to go. We're going somewhere. Somber says this. He says progress will dictate the itinerary of the last OTAs, which he says largely to help younger players via Brooke Pryor. Let's go to Cody. Cody says this, we need someone from the hood on our offensive line. Sick of all these nerds. But you know what? The nerds are the ones that make they make a good offensive line. Look at all those Tom Brady lines. They were a bunch of hillbillies. You know what I mean?
And that's what RB and I were talking off air. He was like, our dream offensive lines are a nice mix of Polynesians and hillbillies.
Yeah, listen, I don't want the hood guy being my center and the hillbilly being my wide receiver. You know, there's just things that work.
It's broken down, but like this: your hillbillies and Polynesians on your offensive line, your hood guys, and your crazy white guys, or your D linemen, and that's just how it goes. That's the breakup of every football team, and that's just how it goes. It's science. You can do.
And here's the thing:
out.
people always say about the cornerbacks. Listen, I don't want any white cornerbacks. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I've been watching sports for a long time.
Yeah.
And I don't want any white cornerbacks. I just don't. I don't. There's nothing. There's nothing that I'm saying that's wrong. That's just common sense knowledge.
Yeah. I at wide receiver, I don't want a mentally stable human being at wide receiver. No. I want the whacked out craziest guy at wide receiver.
Absolutely.
He may go in and punch a fan.
This is why everything. This is why everything works when people get along. Because we can make it. We can make great things happen here. But people are just so effing stubborn. But anyway, let's move along here.
I'm sorry. Cody's comment coming up.
We'll be getting there. It's going to be a while. Let me get right here. Mark Malone says we had Burbusterous. Let's go to Tortilla. Tater is from the hood. Tater is from the hood. The potato hood, I think. Somber says Mike McCarthy says DK has top-notch skill set when you can take slants and different vertical routes to the house. He's just so powerful. We'll try to build the routes menu for him. And again, it should open things up with having more weapons. Pittman opposite side. And you're like I said, if you bring in a nice draft pick, Mike, who could be an effective number 3.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. We're moving in the right direction.
Moving in the right direction.
Far from the days of one receiver. And you know what? Please, I want to get that as far behind me as humanly possible.
And attacking the middle of the field is going to be huge. That's where DK feasts. He's not a straight vertical guy, man. He loves, like McCarthy said, those slants. How many times did we see it last year? He take a slant for a big gain or take it to the house. Those are bread and butter plays right there. You just pitch and catch and let him do his thing. I want to see more of those. And let Pittman work the outside. You got Muth and Washington to work the inside along with DK. This offense is going to be nice. It's going to be fun to watch.
Cody says this. He said Broderick Jones is about as hood as Uncle Phil. Reference to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, in case you didn't know. Ronald says this bottom line, our biggest need is a defensive lineman, and Woods has too much Ziggy Hood in him. But Cade McDonald from Ohio State, that dude was the straw that stirred the Ohio State #1 run defense. Let's go here to Tortilla. He says, Uncle Bro.
As hood as Uncle Phil. It just made me laugh.
What's that? That was the reference.
I know. As hood as well. Yeah, it's just making me laugh. I'm still thinking about it. I'm sorry.
Let's go right here to Sommer. Sommer says Mike McCarthy said he's been impressed by Will Howard in the offseason process and added that he thinks he's in better shape than when he first met him in January. That comes by way of Alan Saunders. Thank you for that, Sommer. Carlton Jones.
I can see Broderick out there trying to block.
Let's go to Classic Fantastic. Classic Fantastic says this: Rodgers is a loser. He just won the division with a terrible offensive line and a defensive coordinator and one wide receiver. What are you talking about, bro? The fact that he's closer to 50 than he is 30, and 30 is an old man in this league. I'm probably sure that's what he was referring to. I don't think of whoever did leave the comment was I don't think it was malicious, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, wouldn't you rather have a quarterback who's, in the right age range? Eventually get a guy that could be a franchise quarterback. I think that was all that was being said there. I don't think it was a malicious comment about Aaron Rodgers. But you're right. Aaron did plenty of good stuff last year. 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 3,000 yards. We'll take it if that's what need be. If that's the case, it happens. Classic. And that's why I did make a point to say I'm cool with either way that this goes. But again, the guy is closer to 50 than he is 30. Closer to 50 than he is 30. 30 is an old football player in the NFL. That's all. That's the point I was making. I'm not sure at what part of that point you were addressing. Let's go right here to Yinzer Joe. Bro Joe hasn't regressed or has improved much, so they're saying it's a setback. Tyrone says Jones might be cooked, to be honest. Cody says this Broderick is cooked as Tyrone's yellow. Just saying. Let's go to Somber. Somber says Howard and Rogers have split reps throughout the first 2 days of minicamp furball, and that is true. And it is expected. I think that that's what they did say that yesterday. I think that people were just assuming that for some reason that Mason Rudolph wasn't getting first team reps. He, of course, will get first team reps. But the point I think they were trying to make was that Will Howard is getting first team reps, I think. Let's go to Ty. Ty says, hey, I got to clean them now. Let's go right here to Tortilla. Broderick clean them. Let's go. Where are we at here? Maybe you should give them Broderick. They'll give him leverage. Where are we at, Mike? Where are we at? I want to know. I know we're at. It just keeps moving on me, and I'm not even seeing.
Yeah. See,
right,
mine's not moving for some odd reason.
Let's go right here. Let's go to Mike McCarthy says he's been very impressed with Will Howard's movement and skills in the footwork drills they have done over the past 2 days. That by way of Nick Faraball. Also, Cody says maybe you should give them to Broderick. They will give him leverage. Let's go to Cody follows it up by saying throw them on the telephone pole. Throw them up on the telephone pole. Let people know what neighborhood they're in. Got to know where to get your weed, man. Yinzer Joe says this. Howard is running a walkthrough camp. There's no actual hitting or plays ran, just walking. LOL. Steeler Freak John, I look at the percent chance for success by round and temper my expectations. Hey, always pretty good way of looking at things, John is. Tyrone says this. He already wears Jordan cleats. How's that working out so far? Footwork is footwork, Somber says. Tortilla, maybe TJ should wear Jordan cleats and he tackle the quarterback more often. Or eat his Wheaties. Isn't that what Jordan did? He just ate his Wheaties and he did just fine. Somber says Mike McCoy. So you were supposed to, I mean, that's not a funny joke. Michael Jordan with the Wheaties, Mike. Remember that was the big thing? Better eat your Wheaties. Yeah. You're just like a rock over there.
I am.
The human interactions. It's all right. Let's continue. I know. Let's go here to maybe TJ Sommer. Mike McCarthy says the Steelers' first padded practice. Well, yes, August 3rd. That is the plan. Let's go here to Ronald. Ronald says it seems like Jacob Rodriguez is on so many draft segments, and everyone he seems like he is gaining weight on his face, and every one of them, someone tell his wife to go easy on the cheese and guac. Mike, you like the guac as well, right?
I fucking love fucking guacamole, man. I fucking make that shit myself. So goddamn good.
And now you have this whole thing going on with the scale. You're weighing yourself, and it's plugged right into your phone, and you have a whole system.
Yeah, I'm down 12 pounds in the past month.
Oh, congratulations. That's really good, man.
Thank you.
Let's go right here to Somber. A lot of these players shed pounds for the 40. It's common to see them putting weight on after the combine, especially if they've been criticized for it. Tyrone, I'm sorry, Somber says Tyrone meant trade up. Steeler Freak John, Rogers winning a playoff game isn't an upside to me. Howard doing it. Listen, that was my argument all along. I would rather Will get in there and let's see what he got. And we learn a lot if Will Howard ends up being the guy. At the end of the day, for Rodgers, it's going to be a lot like last year. We're going to hope for wins and hope for the best. And at the end of the day, we're not really learning other things that we could be learning how to win without Aaron Rodgers. Again, he brings stuff to the table that the team doesn't have and probably will not have after a different quarterback comes in, unless they have a mind of a Hall of Famer. So, again, certainly debatable. Let's go here to Somber. Eha Nachor is how you say that name. Oh, wow.
And I'm still going to butcher it.
Yeah, I am too. My eyes are crossing just looking at it. Just looking at how he has it written, and it's easier to understand when it's written like that.
Ihanukkah. Okay, Ihanukkah. Got it.
Well, you're Jewish, Mike, so this should be easy to remember. Let's go to
No, I'm not.
Tortilla. Oh, now you respond out loud. No, I'm not Jewish. The funny joke. You were a stone.
No. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I ain't getting blamed for everything going on.
The funny Wheaties joke. You were a grape. Now all of a sudden, now you react.
I was staring at the funny Wheaties joke, and I couldn't.
Tortilla.
It not hitting.
Tortilla says I hand cockers. What? Tortilla says the S is silent.
Oh, I hand cocker. Okay, that's how he's pronouncing the guy's name.
John says this Broderick Jones is still on the medical list. Somber says Sombers is our translator, if you will.
I love it. I need help with that.
I have to turn to Somber every time I have to understand how to pronounce a name. Somber says this. He says, you guys got it. He says, Biss on tis. Piss on tis.
Piss on tits.
I love his ability to be able to pick.
I love
pronounce these names. Let's go here. Mike specified Penn State.
Hey, they're our biggest rival.
Back to the list. Back to the list for
he's
you.
Permanently on the list. That intern is not getting that name off that list.
To McCarthy, up is down. And you know what? At first, I don't know if the Steeler fans are going to hate that either, right? So everyone's just kind of ready for a change. If up is down and down is up, and good is bad. Let's see. Let's at least take a look. See at this point. Cody says this. Have a beer, Mike. Let's have an argument. Well, that's usually when he's lacking his beer. He gets argumentative. But Mike.
My ADD is kicking in today big time. I apologize. But no, Cody, I will not have a beer. I'm not going to argue with my good friend Ryan.
Let's go to Mark Malone. He says they don't ever ask him to play hardly even. Mark Malone, like basically never. Cody says, damn, you were in your teens with no. Kinda. I just turned a teenager, and because Cowher took over until 92. I was 13. Right around then. So basically, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I was alive, and I think that's the point you were trying to make. So
Ryan trying to do math right now is like me trying to do math.
Let's just
keep it going.
Again, I think that it was a jab at our ages, and we'll just take it as the point taken. Let's go here to Somber. He says you're dumb. To Cody says, damn, you're in your teens with no. Somber. Let's scoot up here a little bit. I'm going to go to Christine. Always great seeing Christine on the terrible board. Christine, go black and gold. She says, hey, everyone. Happy draft week. That's right. It's happy draft week. So much going on here in the Berg. Mike, if that damn Penguins could get a win, it could be a little better. But you know what? We won't hold it against them. We have more games against Philly in this first round. A lot of things going on in Pittsburgh. And yes, certainly the draft. It is here. Just 2 days away. To the NFL draft. Christine is here. Start the party is what Somber's saying. I couldn't agree more. John the Steeler Freak says this. Type 1978 Ronco Mr. Microphone commercial on YouTube. I'm going to check it out.
Oh, these guys.
I'm going to check it out. Somber says this. What about a Polynesian hillbilly? Wow. Give that guy some money. Put him on your offensive line. You know you're going to be all right. Is it racist to give somebody the benefit of the doubt? Because I want to put the Polynesian hillbilly in the offensive line. Is that wrong of me?
No. See, that's the perfect blend. And like Cody said, we literally had Pouncey, and Pouncey's were Polynesian hillbillies. That's what. If you tell me find a Polynesian hillbilly, I would find the Pouncey twins.
But now that Pouncey's been out of the game, like he's so skinny, he's like a meth. It looks like a meth.
Yeah. He
Polynesian hillbilly.
He lost his honorary Polynesian status on that one.
Cody says we literally had Pouncey. How about Mark Malone says Dunker holds the Haytosh record for some places in Iowa. I wouldn't doubt that. But I'd pay to watch that orange mullet out there tossing hay around. Let's go here to Mark Malone. It's a big deal. Cody says, what you talking about, Willis? And that's funny that you know that line. Actually, Cody, that's I was a little kid when, of course, Different Strokes, Arnold, Gary Coleman.
Great show.
And Willis was his brother, of course. Let's go to Mark Malone. I almost took a slant to the house last night. Where'd you find her? At the parlor? Damn, Mark. Look what you're making me do. Let's go here to Steeler Freak. He says this, Jason Sehorn. Hold
He's an
on.
outlier.
He's an outlier. Let me finish the comment, I guess. Jason Sehorn, enough about white cornerbacks. He was the fastest guy in the league for a period of time. The pigment argument. To say that it holds no water, John, I mean, that was a very small, that is a good example. However, it's a very, very small example that doesn't really establish your point, I don't think, at the end of the day. But I totally see where you're going, and I totally love Jason Sehorn. Thought he was a great part of that Giants defense. Christine says this. She says, everyone wants a non-crazy wide receiver. Give me AB every day and twice on Sunday. Bring the crazy. Let's go. They can't all be stable and talented on as Hines Ward. You usually only get one or the other. You know what, Christine? That's a great point. I listen. I like the AB. I like the. They just can't cost the team. They just don't. AB was a nut, but he wasn't costing the team.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these more recent guys, again, punching a guy in the head, getting suspended the last 2 games of the year when you need to win the last 2 games. Those are the problems. Again, I didn't have any problem with AB at all. I mean, I guess he became more of a mental case after he was gone, but I had zero problems with AB while he's here. Tortilla says this. It's not unusual to give sex to everyone. It's not unusual to give up on the run. Tom Jones, Tortilla Jones on the terrible board, of course, with the song. Steeler Freak John says Rodgers throws in 2.5 seconds. That will only get faster. He follows it up by saying, why would coaches say or write anything bad right now about any player that gives possible tell for the draft? Absolutely. That's one thing I'm learning. There's a lot in the preparation, Mike, for the draft that goes on between teams that people don't see on a day-to-day basis. These guys are really they're strategizing. They're trying to jock for position. It's a lot goes into this draft.
Yeah. Like Colin said yesterday, like there's teams have been pre-calling each other because the first round's down from 10 to 8 minutes. They already have parameters set up for like trades all ready to go. Like if people start falling down the boards, if they want to move up, if they want to move back, they've already had these preliminary conversations going on. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes.
There really is. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. Again, the more you pay attention, the more you do see it. Let's go to Tortilla Jackson. Tortilla, my man, says it's all the way from California. He says, hell yeah, Mike, that's what's up. Let's go Somber. Somber says it's like yeehaw without the Y. See, that's the way I need to be taught. That's why my schooling was so terrible. My experience, people couldn't teach me the way Somber does. Come on.
Somber's a whisperer for the mentally challenged.
Exactly. If I would have had Somber back in the day, who knows what I would have accomplished? Right? Who knows? Let's go to Steeler Freak. He says this. Mike cut off 12 pounds, a 12-pound mole off his left ass cheek. Mike, how did he know about that?
Well, some late night drunken text to the wrong person.
Gotcha. I've been there with John myself. Let's go to
coincidence. I think not.
John follows that up by saying, "Happy Hanukkah, Mike. Happy Hanukkah." And I couldn't agree more, Mike. Happy Hanukkah.
Shalom, L'chaim.
Shalom, shalom. Let's go here to Jamal Black Magic, of course. He says, long live the GOAT, Mike T. Long live the GOAT. Guys, I do want to say Mike T, he's landing a major broadcasting job in the NBC, guys. Apparently it's a studio analyst, Mike, for the NBC. In the NBC. I like this. I didn't know what he was going to do. I thought maybe he would take a year off. At the end of the day, now you know that I'm kind of a jerk. I'm still over here wanting my closure. I'd like to see a nice Mike Tomlin press conference for us here in Pittsburgh. Doesn't like it's going to happen, but I'm excited, Mike. Again, I thought that he would take a little time off to spend with his family, but he's getting right back to the grind. That's not an easy career to have. You're constantly moving. You're traveling around a lot. He does know the field, of course. He's not dumb. He's a football coach. He'll do fine. Mike, your thoughts on Mike Tomlin becoming an NBC studio analyst?
I like it. Perfect job for him. My God, he's going to be entertaining. He's going to be engaging. He just, like I said, just left the NFL, so he's going to be in tune with what the league's going on. Hopefully, he, keeps up the same prep work as he continues on his career that he does early on. It doesn't turn into like a Tony Romo. Because the further Romo got away from his playing career, the worse he became. I don't see Tomlin doing that. I think this is going to be a great gig for him, and it's going to be nice to see Mike Tomlin on my TV every Sunday.
I look, I don't disagree. I kind of agree with a lot of what you're saying. My thing is this: if he goes on there and he suggests how teams should win football games in January, and they do win in January by doing the things that he suggests, I don't know what I'll do.
You are going to crash out.
I will crash out because, again, we haven't listened. Our next playoff game, if we have one this year, will be in 2027. The last playoff game that we won was in 2016. So let me tell you, if Mike Tomlin goes and gives somebody good advice for playoff success and they do the same thing and have success, I just don't know, Mike. I don't know what I'll do. It just blows my mind. But again, I think Tomlinisms will be funny. I don't think that will change. I think there will certainly be things that we're familiar with Mike Tomlin being here for 20 years and that we'll pick up when he is in the national headline. That a lot of other people won't pick up as they are kind of learning Mike as we are kind of learning our new Mike as well. So I think it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun. I kind of wish he would have taken a little bit more time off, Mike, because it's only been a little over 2 months since he left the team.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, January, February, March, April, so 3 months. I don't know if that's what he was just saying to kind of to make a clean break, whatever. But I was expecting him to take at least a little bit more time off. But that's just me.
Yeah, but man, you get offered that nice paycheck.
Mike, he's a 100 millionaire. Paychecks would be nothing to him anymore.
Hey, man, he got mouths to feed, man. He got them kids.
Mike, 100 millionaire. Come on. You know what I mean? I think what's that?
Yeah, but still, man, that check still looks nice.
Yeah.
Still looks nice.
I don't know.
Because now you're probably living.
Listen, if you walked away to spend time with your family and then you jump back on another job, I'm just saying it seems like that was just the story. But you know what? Let's move on, Mike. A lot still get into today. Again, I wish him all the luck. Mike Tomlin, guys, going to NBC as a studio analyst. I'm going to go right here to Hanukkah Jewinski. Mark Malone is saying Hanukkah Jewinski. I like that. Let's go here to going to Robbie. I'm going to Robbie. I know we've seen the name before. There's a couple different Roberts. Robert says, yeah, Rodgers is done. Needs to call it quits. I'm sorry, Christine. Christine says, I was 16 and 92. I was, when I was a little older than I was actually saying, to be honest, I was trying to make myself seem younger than I was. But I was in the same ballpark there as you, Christine. Monica Slobberknocker is what John is saying on the board. Jamal, Black Magic says, I'm glad Rodgers didn't answer before the draft so we could prepare. I agree. I kind of like the way this is going. I just think the overall narrative, if it's screwing us, I don't like it. But if we ultimately know what's going on within the organization, I'm cool with it, man. And again, it allows us to take a look at other things at this point as well. So I don't hate what's going on. Again, there's a lot going on, Mike, and enough going on that's good with this team that I'm not really down about what's going on with Aaron and what's perceived to be going on with Aaron, at least.
Hey, me either. And the team's operating like, hey, if he comes back, cool, we got a spot for him. If not, hey, we're going to keep going like you're not here. Right. The door's open if you want to come back. If not, we're going to move on for you. And I like that approach. And they're not like, oh, we're making all these moves. Is Aaron going to like this? Is he going to like that? Oh, we can't go and get this guy because it's not going to fit in. Like, no, we're building our team. And, hey, if you want to come back, you got a contract waiting for you in a starting spot for you. If not, okay, we're going to go with Will Howard and a rookie to battle it out. So it's a very good approach. And they're still building that team. Man, I like it. No complaints.
Yeah, same here, Mike. And again, yes. I'm not even take time. Let's move forward. I'll go right here. Sommer says I was 7. I was 7 in 92. Yeah, I mean, we're all in the same ballpark. Numbers are just numbers. Let's not talk about that anymore. Let's go to Mark Malone. Mark Malone says this. He really does. The Sullen Beef Days. Hey, toss record. Okay. Let's go. Christmas, my man says, Coach McCartney spoke today and said that Will Howard looks good in camp. I'm getting a lot of reports saying the same thing. So again, we're winning. We are winning, guys, in off season. That's what we needed. That's what we wanted. That's what we knew. And we are winning. The coaching turnover went well. Free agency went well. It's hard to F up a draft when you have 12 picks in your own city. I think this is going to go well. Again, guys, so however the quarterback situation plays out, we knew that it wasn't going to be a sun and roses at the end of the day. We're going to play the different roads however they go, and again, go with the plan moving forward. And again, maybe finding that franchise guy in next year's draft, or Will Howard comes in and surprises us all like Ben did back in the day. Mike, again, we didn't know what a Roethlisberger was going to do. We knew what a Phillip Rivers was and a Manning was. But at that time in the Berg, we still were not quite familiar that the Roethlisberger was going to be as good as it was.
No, we had hopes that, that him being labeled the one with the highest upside would turn out and pan out. But, man, we got lucky because he did, baby.
He sure did. We'll take I would take him every time now. Believe me. Believe me. Let's go to Seattle's openly saying they're willing to trade down. Let's go to Christopher. As I saw Rodgers of Will Howard and Aaron Rodgers working out this offseason, they look good. That's encouraging. We know one of them is going to be playing this year. Christine says this. So excited to see Tomlin on TV. Can't wait. You know what they say. If my aunt made male parts, she'd be my aunt. That's what I'm saying. He's going to be entertaining, to say the least. Because that was serious. It was it was one of his press conferences. That's his personality. I think he's going to be fun. I think he'll be fun. Of course, with that reference, it was hilarious. Christine. Cody says this. Tortilla Jones brought.
Oop.
Tortilla Jones, Broderick Jones, Downs, Cousins. Tortilla said the Tomlin video game about to be tough. Let's go to Steeler Freak. John says Mike McCarthy isn't going to say Broderick Jones. Only looks ass technically, but his medical isn't very promising. Just hope there is a left tackle when it comes draft time. Tortilla, Mama dropped me and Broderick at the same time and see who landed on their head first. Tortilla says I won. John also says this. Mike blowing the kiss at the camera wave was his press conference. He isn't giving the media any satisfaction. Let's see what John follows it up by saying this as well. January 15th, 2017, was the Steelers' last playoff victory against Kansas City, 18-6. Boswell, 6 field goals is what he's saying. And so it will be, Mike, within that period of time. So it's not 16 to 27. It would actually be 17 to 27. So that's not as bad. If we could scrape up a win this year in the playoffs, I think that we'll be okay.
I think we can. It might be a moot point too, because if the Penguins don't make it out of the first round, our bets off, and if the Steelers make it out of the first round, I don't get any of your hair put onto my face.
Well, that is a big disappointment. Of course, everybody wants to see all my hair being glued on your head, Mike. But again, the first leg is looking like it's falling apart. Only 2 games in though. Penguins they could come back. It's the Flyers. If Sidney Crosby could beat anybody, it's the Flyers in Philly. So I'm still feeling optimistic on that. Let's move forward. And John, yes, 6 field goals was that 18 points. You're right. I remember very clearly now. Let's look at Christine. What she says. She says this. That job's going to be a lot less. That's job going to be a lot less time consuming and a lot less stressful, though. Good for yeah, you're right. It doesn't have the same pressures, of course, as the head coaching job. But again, it was only 3 months ago. I would have liked to see the guy take a little bit more of a break with his life. That's just me. John says this. It will be a decade this year, a decade. Cody says I was -3 in 92. That's all right, man. Shit.
I was 12.
And you know what? Like, let me think. 92. I would have been 14. I'd have been 14. I was born in 78. Let's go right here to John. John says, I was born in 64. I can't do the math anymore, nor do I care. That's usually how I am. Once you get to a certain point, you don't care what tell people what your age is. I just make shit up now. And like I said, I have to go back and then think about it. Let's go here to Cody. Cody says 64. So you're 62? Cruising down the street in my 6'4". Jocking the bitches, slapping the hoes. Went to the park to get to school. Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Boys in the Hood, in case you're not recognizing. Christopher says this: we are going to draft Drew Aller in the 5th round. Coach McCarthy is a quarterback coach. He is going to shape him and do a great quarterback. Mike, you would like that.
I would not. I would not. I wish Drew Aller nothing but success, but I enough time watching him at Penn State. I don't know if I can stomach it for another 4 years.
Wait a minute. Is this real, John? Is this really your birthday? John is saying 62 today. My birthday.
Well, if so, happy birthday.
Yeah. I wish I would have known.
We would have sent Derpy out there to pop out of a cake for you.
Yeah, we would have done something. I don't know what it was. I mean, the midget stripper's been giving me the running around, so it might have been Derpy. But you know what?
Derpy.
It would have been something for you.
But it would have been a stripper for you.
If it is, in fact, your birthday, happy birthday, sir. Tater always the funny guy in the group. Let's go here.
He's the guy who thinks he's the funny guy of the group.
Cody says, no, just the pubes, Mike. All the other hair doesn't even matter. That's the only thing that matters. Happy birthday, Johnson. Cody says to John, knuckleheads out there, Cole shooting some hoop. The car pulls up. Who can it be? Yes. Christine says that's only one of the only songs I sing at karaoke. And you know what? I could also do a word for word with you. Let's get back to a couple of things, Mike, as we are basically rounding third here on the show. A couple more topics, and then we're going to start to get ready to wrap things up. Let's look right here at you know what? I'm going to go with this real quick, Mike. This was a developmental coach. The name wasn't mentioned in this particular article, Mike. The developmental coach says Mike McCarthy knows what he wants. Says Mike McCarthy is putting his stamp on the Steelers right now. You gotta like that. You gotta like that.
Yeah,
I like that. And again, there's and again, I don't doubt that a lot of these younger new coaches would have been the same way. But there's something again like with McCarthy who's coming back home after having a successful career in the NFL. People look at Andy Reid and guys like this and say this is the cream of the crop. But you can't deny a guy like Mike McCarthy and Mike Tomlin and Jim Harbaugh had a successful NFL coaching career. So coming home from a successful coaching career to your hometown, taking a year off, getting to look at everything from the outside, getting that pervasive view, and then stepping back in. Mike, I love the way that Mike McCarthy is handling this situation and making everything his. And that's what you have to do. And again, some of these younger guys, they might not have felt that comfortable to make those that transition into that spot. So I like this. I like
it. Yeah, I like that. And he said yesterday at the joint press conference with Omar Khan talking about the draft process. He's like, it's been done a certain way here for 40 years and it works well. It's like, I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm going to add my wrinkles into it, but we're not going to change it dramatically. Where I think we talked about this last month. Like, one of my concerns is if we had a younger coach in, they would want to totally blow up the system and make it their own. Or McCarthy has that knowledge and has the cachet of, being a Super Bowl winning head coach, where if he wanted to, he could do that. But, he has the knowledge and the respect and of everyone else's opinions and knowledge in this organization to go, okay, what do you guys do? Here's what I do. Okay, let's make it work. Let's find a way to get both philosophies to get our ultimate goal. And a young coach might not have been able to do that, put their ego aside to do it, where someone like McCarthy can.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of working, and it's satisfying. I'm content with the way things are going. And again, how often does things usually go well for you like this? I mean, again, the changing of the guard, again, the free agency, and now the draft. Again, just 2 days away. So much excitement, guys. And again, Mike, we're halfway. So we got the first half off season done. Now we just get through the rest with OTs, camps, rookie camp, all this stuff. And we will be back on that field before you know it, playing our hated rivals and everybody else, Mike. Also, on the Ike Taylor said on the Debo and Joe show, Mike, this was in regards to Will Howard. This was the comment, Mike. Ike Taylor says this. He's confident. They seem confident in Will Howard is what he says. He says this, Mike, he will get it for sure. That's Ike Taylor's take. Again, somebody that faced off with quarterbacks quite frequently. And of course, he can get on and say the truth and say he doesn't look good, but he doesn't either, Mike. So again, all the positive reinforcement that's coming out of Steeler, of the building, the organization, everything is positive at this point. And it's got to be driving guys like Tater Tart and all these other guys with their teams in the division. It's got to be driving them nuts. Why don't the Steelers just fall to their knees? Mike, it hasn't happened for such a long time. This team hasn't finished in last place since the Genesis, for crying out loud.
Right.
So again, I'm content with what's going on. We just got to figure out how to get them damn wins when the weather starts getting cold. Of course, in January, I'm talking about. Hopefully, maybe this year could be that year. Pittsburgh fans are ready. They're certainly ready. There's no two ways about this.
We are. We the River Hounds are doing a lot of heavy lifting around here. Let's give the boys some help.
Absolutely. And finally, Mike, this was the comments made. This was Art Rooney II, Bob Pompiani. Of course, everybody knows Pomp here in the area in Pittsburgh. He says this on Aaron Rodgers' decision on his timeline. He says, I don't know if it'll be before the draft. I think it'll be soon. I can't put an exact day on it or anything like that, but yeah, I think it'll happen soon, one way or the other. That is out of the mouth of Art Rooney to Bob Pompiani in a recent, as of the last 24 hours. Comment, Mike. So again, I think that's consistent with exactly what we knew. Yeah. We were hopeful that we would get the information, but again, as long as the team knows, that's all that really matters at the end of the day, so they can continue to do what they need to do.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, I love how we're just operating like, okay, if you want to come, cool. If not, that's cool too. Or we're going to keep doing our thing. They're not letting it be a distraction the way like the local media and even the national media is making it look like, oh my God, he's holding this team hostage. They don't know what they're doing. Well, you look at the moves they're making and the words coming out of their mouths, like they're operating as, it's not going to phase them one way or another. They have a plan in place. Like we've been saying all along, all off season, they have multiple plans in place. And right now they're operating under that he's not going to be here. And if he does show up, it's not going to alter that plan one way or another. It's just going to, we have more time to work with Will Howard behind the scenes in the number 2 role before we throw him out there.
Mike, in other words, this is the way that it should be handled.
Yeah.
They're doing it right now, and you got to like that.
You're either going to hand the keys to the young guy, or, he's just going to keep the seat warm until Rodgers comes in time for mandatory camps when he signs a contract.
The Aaron Rodgers watch is still on, guys. Again, the draft 2 days away right here in Pittsburgh, PA, Western Pennsylvania. 800,000 people expected to come pouring into our little city. The president now, it's rumored that the president may even be coming to the draft. I don't know, guys. Again, public transportation is the answer for this week. They're closing roads down like crazy. Add the CIA and all these other people, Secret Service. It's going to be insane. But let's grab a couple more of these, Mike, as we are getting ready to wrap things up. I know that you're on a time as well. I'm certainly aware of that. Let's grab a few more of these messages, and we're going to get into the trivia question of the day. Let's go right here to Cody. Thanks. Just another day. Of course, John is saying in regards to his birthday. So it is John's birthday. Happy birthday to you, John. Big John Stud. Middle name, Mud 62. Congratulations, man. That's pretty awesome. Let's go to Cody. Says, I usually sing area codes by Ludacris. Hey, I can do Ludacris right there with you too, bro. John says this. Yes, today is the freak's birthday. Today is the freak's birthday. Him and Terry Bongshaw probably going to spend some quality time, I'm guessing. Let's go to, and I guess he did say yes, today is his birthday. I'm sorry about that. Scoot up just a hair here. Cody says men don't celebrate birthdays. He says straight man anyway.
I celebrate my birthday.
You sure do. Let's go right here to Ronald. Ronald says this. Ronald says people who are speed lovers thinking that a 40-yard dash is the end-all be-all player are stupid. In the end, a player's 40 times. You know what? I ultimately agree with that, and I've said that for years. I understand it's the number that they go by, but at the end of the day, it's very, very irrelevant. If a guy runs just this much quicker than the other, it's probably not going to affect a whole lot on a football field. But, it is the system. John says this: I haven't celebrated since becoming an adult. Just another day. Really? Age come up today, or I would have let it go. Well, I'm glad you did, John. You're certainly a respected part of this show, and I don't want to miss. I'd like to tell you happy birthday, and happy birthday to you. Bob is the GOAT. Tortilla is saying, Tater, keep any retards indoors during the draft day. We keep them all on an island across the pond, actually, over near England is where we keep all of our retards. Mike, why don't you go ahead?
I was going to say, very north of England.
Yeah, it's yes. Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
Head on over to the2dumyinzers.com. Oh my God, we have our link to the merch store over there. We got all of Ryan and I social media. We got a bunch of draft stuff over there. I got a fresh mock draft up there. If we trade Alex Hyde-Smith, it is my thought process of how that could work out. Gain picks next year and beef up certain units of this team. So check it out at the2dumyinzers.com.
Go check it out, everybody. A lot of great stuff over there. A lot of great work by RB, Chop, Mike. Again, relatively new to this new site, so go check it out. It's www.the2dumyinzers.com, www.the2dumyinzers.com. I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get into the trivia. Again, I know Mike is on a little bit of a schedule here himself, so let's get into this trivia question of the day. Mike, put on your thinking cap. Everybody on the board, put on your thinking cap. This is the question of the day. Mike, here we go. Since the year 2000, that would be every year of the current century. Since 2000, Mike, number one picks by the Pittsburgh Steelers, our first overall picks, was there more offensive linemen or more linebackers? Is the question of the day. Mike, but in draft picks in the 2000s by the Steelers, the first round number one picks for the Steelers, the question of the day, which one of these positions had been drafted more by the Steelers? Offensive line or linebackers, which goes the whole way across the board. It's inside and outside linebackers and all offensive linemen is the question of the day. Think about that. You get the question? You understand what I'm saying, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay, just being clear. Guys, think that through. I just want to say this real quick. As you're doing so, we're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. every day right here on the Tube.
On Tube.
Question of the day. Since 2000, have we had more offensive linemen or have we had more linebackers as our first draft pick in all the drafts? Mike, this will be this is 2026. So think about that. I can tell you that we've drafted one tight end, two quarterbacks, four defensive linemen, two secondary players, two running backs. But Mike, the question of the day is, what did we have more of? Offensive linemen or linebackers drafted first overall by the Steelers?
Oh.
What's your thought process?
Let's see. We got Watt, Timmons, Jarvis Jones, Ryan Shazier. I'm going to go offensive line. I think we've done a lot of offensive line.
Offensive line, is this your final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
I'm seeing on the board, I just want to throw it out there, Ronald's saying linebackers, 7 to 4 offensive linemen is what he's saying. Cody even is saying Rick James, Mike. He could even be correct. Rick James. So you're going to say offensive line.
Yeah, I'm going to say offensive line, yeah.
All right, let me get you locked in here in place. I'm going to lock you in. All right, so you're locked in on offensive line. I'll give just another second here. Again, Mike is on his way out the door. Somber with his 69420. Yesterday was really close. It was at least 420 yesterday. Somber, just another second or so, and then we will give this answer. Again, the question of the day is this. Since 2000, in this century, did we pick linebackers or offensive linemen more with our first overall pick? The Steelers, Mike is saying offensive linemen. Tortilla is saying linebackers. Ronald is saying linebackers as well. Guys, the answer to this question is linebackers. Timmons, Jarvis Jones, Shazier, Dupree, TJ Watt, Devin Bush. Offensive line, Fatanu, Pouncey, Kendall Simmons, DeCastro, and Broderick Jones. Those were the offensive linebacker
Damn.
in the first round. Steeler Freak says lineman as well. The correct answer, guys, by one player is the linebacker position. Trumping everybody, those two positions, like offensive line. If that surprises anybody, offensive line and linebacker.
I think when I first counted, I forgot about Jarvis Jones. I went back and I recounted. When I recounted, I forgot Devin Bush, and it was Jarvis Jones and Devin Bush that
I thought that Devin Bush was the one that got you.
That was yep.
A couple things before we do get ready to wrap things up. Let's see here. I'm going to say this. With everything going on, especially with the draft, guys, do be sure to stop because there's so much football, so much Steelers. Stop by and grab yourself some Duquesne Pilsner, guys. The people at Duquesne Pilsner are wonderful to us. We ask that you give them a little bit of love in return. Go check them out. Maybe you don't drink that much. Swing by their social media pages. Hit the like, hit the follow. It will all help them out. Guys, I do want to say this. We always have Duquesne Pilsner here on tap in the studio for every occasion that comes along. Mike, if you do need to step away, I could carry for a couple minutes and then you can jump back on, or I'll try to get us off before you need to step away.
I should be good, bro. I should be good.
Okay. Do get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner. Guys, we always have it here in studio on tap, made right here in Western Pennsylvania. Mike, it says on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Cody says Castro was a hood guy too.
A white guy from Stanford. He's really from the hood.
I think he's Puerto Rican, isn't he, or Cuban or something? But the name would suggest. I don't know that for sure, but he certainly looks it. Christopher says this. I'm going to order a bucket of hot wings, calamari rings, mozzarella sticks, all through the draft. That sounds amazing, my friend. And plus, he's in South Florida, which also sounds amazing. John says the effing quiz is rigged, is what he says. A couple other things you could also, besides Duquesne Pilsner, do check us out as well, Mike, as we are all over the internet with our social media as well. You could follow us, check us out at Facebook, X formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, even TikTok. Swing by, hit the follow button, keep up with what's going on with the two Dum Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. And finally, if you haven't yet, do hit the like button down below. Hit the like, subscribe button, share, even comment. It all helps in the algorithm, guys. We appreciate it all. Thank you so much. Yes. Mike, what is your thoughts on today's show?
Man, the first round pick for the Steelers is going to be hard to lock down. RB was saying Ian Cocker. I was going with I forget who I said. To be honest with you,
you said Cooper Jr.
Yeah. My God, it could be there's probably 8 or 10 guys that you can name, and they would all make a logical choice there. It's going to be a hard prediction to lock down. And, I'm loving Aaron Rodgers not being here, giving Will Howard a shot to run the team. And I love the way the team is just operating. Like,
I do too.
If you're here, cool. If not, hey, man, that's okay too. If you're coming back, you can see the plan in place for the Steelers. I'm loving it. That there should be no worry amongst Steeler Nation about the way this team's operating.
I couldn't agree more, Mike. I think things are going good. I'm content. Things seem to be moving along very well. Guys, again, and we will get those every day, Mike. We're going to be cracking down on everybody on the show to get their number one pick for the Steelers. We got you and RB today. Tomorrow we'll get 2, and then I think Thursday we'll be getting the last 2 guys on the list. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to do it all over again. So much going on, Mike, with the NFL draft just 2 days away. Also, Buccos back in action tonight. They are in Texas playing on Andrew McCutcheon and the Texas Rangers. That's an 8:05 start. Braxton Ashcraft will be on the hill tonight for the Buccos. So let's hope that they can keep their good things going, Mike. They're 13-9 heading into Texas. So we got that going. Mike, the Steelers, all the information we're going to be able to scrape and keep up with, we'll have that all tomorrow too, as we'll be down to one day, draft day eve tomorrow, guys. A lot of stuff. Super excited. I know that everybody is really excited here. Let's go to real quick. I forgot about one offensive lineman is what Ronald said. And also Taktua, hand orange covering eyes. I do want to say welcome to the board to you, sir, as we are on our way out, Mike. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not forgetting anything here. Tomorrow, again, we'll be getting the rest of those picks. Next couple of days, we'll be getting those picks. Pittsburgh, right here. Yinzerverse, guys. It's the place to be this week. More people are going to be coming here than it's ever been in our city, I believe, is what it was said ever at one time. Big draft coming up on Thursday. We're waiting. We're ready. You're ready. Everybody is ready, Mike. This is draft week 2026. I'm going to swing back around to you. Speak now, forever hold your peace. All right, brother. I thank you so much. I want to say thank you to everybody. Again, I apologize for rushing off. We do. Mike has something going on here in the next 5 minutes. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. We really appreciate you. Thanks for coming and checking us out. We couldn't appreciate you more. I want to thank everybody on the board. You guys always keep things interesting here on the show. You know we love you. And everybody at home as well, watching on their phone, maybe on the television, at work, at the gym, wherever you may be, guys, thank you too. We'll be back tomorrow at our regular time to get ready to head into the draft, Mike. Tomorrow, draft eve. One day. We'll be down to one day the next time we see everybody. So, guys, do stay safe. Have a great day. Enjoy your Tuesday, Mike. Anything before we roll?
No, man. Great show, everyone. And yeah, it's Steeler Freak too. I can't wait for Derpy's reaction, man. Whew, it's going to be great.
John, I want to see Derpy's reaction. I can't believe that meltdown was a year ago. It truly is unbelievable, my friend. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. For everybody here at the show, for Finch, for Derpy, for RB, for Chop, for Mike, myself, guys, have a great Tuesday. Stay safe, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. For the two Dum Yinzers, I'm Ryan. Have a great day. Bye-bye.